What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, the podcast hosted by two gamers for you, the True Gamers. That's I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself. Sheps, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, doing good, man. How about you?
I'm doing great because this week is the week of God of War. It is the God of War 2018 4th birthday this week. It was yesterday as of recording today. And it's been really awesome, actually, to see all the love and appreciation for this game that obviously we love so much. And it's one of those rare things, because I've been introducing myself into the stupid side of Twitter and the stupid side of gaming and the toxicity of it. Yeah. Voluntarily, stupidly.
Sometimes, hey, sometimes it comes to find you.
Sometimes it does come to find you, that is correct. But because of that, it's good to see the change of pace, to just be like, you know what? Yeah. Great stuff, and I hope as well we'll get some of that today, because I've got some really good topics planned out for today. Going to be talking about a new Star Wars game that was announced.
The one we've been talking about. You know, it's the project that got cancelled. We've been crying about it.
We don't spoilers.
There was a project that was cancelled. We cried about that constantly.
We'll see. New Star Wars game.
Just saying, yeah.
We're talking about the best man himself, Jason Momoa, in a new movie, a video game movie, and some battle royale news, which obviously is something that we love.
That is right. We're all about more. We're all about the battle royales. Before we get too far into it, like the video, finally remembered.
There we go.
Please, really appreciate it. And talking about the good side of Twitter, and another easy, like, just seamless plug, our Discord. Yes. Genuinely the best Discord and only Discord. D went out and just started making a poll, and for like the last 3 days, it's just been nothing but people like, I don't know, it's been super. It's been a
fun, civil war within our community, but in a fun way.
Yeah, it's been Conbro's civil war.
It's like, everyone vote which is the best chat, this versus this one. And I will say, it has ended.
It has ended.
And the winners have been declared. And I am immediately calling for a vote of no confidence. I say we ban everyone from the Discord. We start from fresh, ashes, and then just start new. Because Bingeable won over Top Bro chat. The Patreon chat is the best.
I'm just gonna say, first things first. It was 100% rugged.
Rugged.
I rugged it. Just like I rugged my my XP on the server. So I'm like, no one can come. Like, I'm always rank 1. There was no way. So I was just like, yo, just someone give me like 3,000 levels. First things first. Those two going head to head, not really fair. There's like 58 Conbros. You know, our patrons, amazing guys. And then everybody on the server can get access to it. But I gotta say, I thought it was cool that those two ended up as the. It's also the 2 rooms I spend my most time in.
This is the funny thing, because was Bingeable first in anime chat room?
No, it was just shows.
Okay, all right. I think it was just because it was associated with you, and I associate anime with you, that I just went mute channel.
So I put it,
like, I'm out here.
I put it in as Bingeable shows, and I knew you would jump in there because of like Smallville. Yeah. And then I was like, well, anime shows. so I was like, he'll be in a room and he'll constantly be seeing anime. Right, exactly. That was the thing. And then eventually, like, obviously you sussed it, that it was just anime chat. So.
That was funny. And I was like, mute. But the problem is that I didn't escape it, because Eagle, I'm saying Eagle, Alpha
Quilele.
Loads of people were just tagging me in.
They constantly tag you.
Now I'm in it.
No matter what. Yeah. Anyway,
head over to the Discord server. Link in the description.
It's genuinely a great place.
Yeah, it's great. Before we get any too further into it, let's thank our super bros who support us over at patreon.com/Conbrosations. Those amazing people who support us at the $15 tier. You guys are legends. These people are Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Sabine from Smallville, the Star Wars Encyclopedia Adam Sunley, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, the Super Sus Ben Fryer, the Filthy FIFA Fanatic Joe McCormack, Clark the 53rd, My Juicy Left Nut, the Super Sexy Producer Sean, Jack Nicholas, that's his
legal name.
Legally he's changed to that name now. I mean, his mum was a bit confused, but he was like, Mum, I don't want to have
hard to explain.
2 first names.
Right.
Anyway, and Kevin, the #1 simp. Of Game Pass coming to PC.
You did it once. I'm like, oh, there's no way he's going to do it again. And he did it again and I fell for it. It's like when you watch someone about to sneeze and they go, Never mind.
I wonder how many people in the video.
Oh my God, now I have to sneeze. Caught. I just gave myself the urge to sneeze. It's awful.
Do it. Live on camera. ASMR.
Never. It's going to happen.
Don't sneeze!
You actually got it.
I robbed him of it. There we go. I hate when people do that, by the way.
That's the worst thing.
Because the sneeze is good.
Yeah, like I actually wanted that. I want the sneeze.
There you go.
Do you remember when yawn rapes are a thing? You just stick your finger in someone's mouth. You'd like, when the someone's going, oh.
Thank God you said finger, because when you started off with yawn rape, I was like...
It's just what was called, man.
I mean, we do it to my girlfriend, obviously. That's a different thing and whatnot.
Man, if someone steals your yawn, I've actually never wanted to kill someone quite so badly. Like it's something you didn't realize could be stolen until it's stolen. You know?
Guys, welcome back to another episode of True Game
right.
Podcast. Episode like 89. We're closing on that number 100.
Yeah, boy.
Real quick right here. Things are going well. Going back to the question you asked me a long time ago about how it's going in my life. I am still working on the house.
Yeah.
The house is coming along really good.
Yeah.
I am nearly done. I project that by next week we'll be in the new place. Whether or not that means we'll be recording there might be a bit iffy, because obviously the house is final preparations being done for that. But then we have to move all of our stuff to the house. Yeah. And whether or not it'll be ready is a bit of an iffy thing. But I'll be living in the new house, I think, next week, and be pretty damn cool.
It's good to be able to have a house and live in it too.
Yeah. It's one of those pro points, you know.
Like a perk.
Like you go the realtor showing you around. It's got 3 bedrooms. It's got a bathroom. It's got this veranda over here. It's really nice. Can't live in it though. But the kitchen is quite big.
Oh no! I just want to let's just circle back. You said one thing that I actually did pick up
on. The veranda.
Yeah, the veranda's lovely. It's brand new.
No. We're talking about
just one. I think it was one before that.
So hold on a second.
The new kitchen? No. Actually, there was one other point that stuck out to me.
Yeah, a little bit of a stuck point. It's like so it's looking really good. It's the thing is that my parents used to live there before, right? Yeah. That was the thing. Just in case you didn't know, my parents were moving out to another place, and I was like, I'll take that house and we'll rent out the house that I'm living in right now, rather than having to mess around with the new house. And my parents have no taste. They have the worst. They had like that pink kitchen. Walls. Oh, the kitchen.
So I didn't have the heart to say this to you ever. I'm so glad you said it. But that is a lovely kitchen in all the colors I would never have put in a kitchen.
Yeah,
it's red. Is it red marble?
Red, like granite top.
Oh God, yeah.
But obviously, that doesn't exist in life, so it's artificial.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
it is lovely.
It's just the worst color.
It shouldn't exist. It's
anyway,
red. Who puts red countertops? Oh my God.
And the worst part is that I'm not going to be able to change it for a little bit, because they're quite expensive, those like tops and whatnot. I thought the rest of the house deserves the money first, and then that.
You're going to go to like a particle board.
But the problem is, I'm like, what am I going to do with this thing? It's just such an eyesore. Anyway, now that I've refreshed it and given it a decent coat of paint, removed bits that were like there was wallpaper on the ceilings for some reason.
What?
I don't know. My parents are weird, okay? They're weird. And I removed that, smoothed that out, and painted it a decent color.
I didn't even know you could get someone to do that.
Apparently you can. They figured out a way. Anyway, it's looking much nicer now. Yeah. One day I'll do like a house tour for you guys, so you guys can see what's going on. And that's really awesome, man. That's really awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
How's your life going?
Yeah, all right.
All right, there you go. Jesus, don't fucking talk my ear off. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So this life update.
Your life story. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all right.
I do want to ask you a question.
Okay.
And this is going to be a question for the community as well, for you guys to ask. I asked this question on Twitter, and I'm interested to know what you think as well.
Okay.
When you game, which do you prefer to game on? Do you prefer to game on a TV, or do you prefer to game on a monitor? Because I have access to both. Yeah. I have done both. And when it comes to streaming, obviously I'm next to my monitor, so I do that. But frequently, I take my PlayStation downstairs to play on the TV. But Both of them have their like pros and cons.
Yeah, there's no answer to this.
Yeah, what do you prefer?
Because, well, for one, I'll say like I only have a TV.
Okay.
And it's I can't remember. It's like, I don't know. First of all, it's too big for gaming realistically. Like, two types of gaming. If I was going to play like God of War or Horizon, I'm downstairs. Let's pretend I live here.
Yeah.
I'm downstairs on the OLED. No questions asked. And I'm an FPS guy. I'm all about frames per second. I don't
responsiveness.
Yeah.
And
I always put like everything into FPS versus fidelity.
Yeah.
Always. And I would still be on the OLED. No questions asked, because my God, that thing's gorgeous. If I was going to play like Apex Legends, Call of Duty, I'd be up here on the monitor. I'd have maybe like 38-inch, or I think, they say there is a prime size. It's somewhere in the 30s. Yeah. And I would get it all for, again, like the speed of the hertz and stuff like that. So it depends. It depends. Realistically, just for like the odd bit of gaming, it's more convenient to put it up to a TV, but I do feel like TVs are too big. Yeah, that sounds weird, but
there is issue. That's the thing. I have these thoughts every time I play, and that's the dumb thing, because I move my PlayStation up and downstairs. Sometimes I want to play on the monitor because I want to play something a bit more like competitive, like maybe a shooter or something like that. But I do love playing on a TV, and I do love playing on especially the OLED, like you said.
Gorgeous.
I asked people on Twitter, and I want to know what they thought as well about this. But I feel like you said, there is no definitive answer, is there? There's always just preferences and what people see.
Most gamers, there's like, sort of like 80 to 90% of people just plug stuff in and play. We put a little, not that we're better, because if you look at my KD, that's obviously not true. But like we think about it a lot more because we're talking about it, and we notice stuff in a way that, say, I don't know, someone that played 6 hours of a game and then wrote an entire full game review might not have got about the non-tender and loving story of God of War, as an example. Yeah. So like we do notice stuff like that because we are looking at it like, well, how much of a difference does the fresh FPS boost make? How good is ray tracing, and is it better? We switch between these things. Even me, when stuff comes out, and I knew we were going to talk about like the Ghost of Tsushima, the director's cut. Yeah, I put it, even though it's not my preference, into the high fidelity mode just to see what it was like. And spoiler alert, it's gorgeous. Yeah. And then after playing like that for like half an hour, I put it back to my preference. But I had to experience it, right? Yeah. So we think about these things in a bit more depth than like the average person. The average person just gets something to display the game and plays it. And that is, by the way, perfectly acceptable.
And also it's an option thing as well. And there's a lot less thought that goes into like casual gamers. We're like hardcore here. All of us are true gamers here.
Of course.
So
it's in the name.
Exactly. Well, we've had the option where, like, say if I'm streaming and whatnot, I've had my computer plugged up to a monitor. Whereas an average person, they probably have a PC or something like that used for work, but then they never put a console in there.
Or their laptop, gaming laptop. Or
exactly. They never go anywhere near that. So they're always plugged into a TV, and they just assume that that is the way it's played, and that feeling that you get of like the minor latency is just gaming. There's nothing different about that. Whereas we know that kind of stuff. I asked people on Twitter. So far, there's only been a couple of hours, but it's like 55% of the people say TV, and the other 44% monitor. Quite in the middle where I thought it would be. Alpha says if screens close enough to read documents and map legends, but also the frame rate and resolution. So I'm guessing he's saying a monitor, I guess. Then. Chris he goes, my bro just got an OLED and it's like gaming in 3D. I guess like the first time experiencing it is quite mad. Mario says, depending on latency, if you want to play it in 4K, I love my 4K monitor and it looks absolutely beautiful to game on, but it's meant to be viewed from a close distance, whereas a TV would feel required to be played from your couch or something. And that's exactly true. Yeah. I have my 4K monitors and I wouldn't be able to play that further away. So
no, you have to be sat.
You have to be right up.
You have to be sat as if it's like a PC. You're in that same sort of distance.
I want to know what people think in the comment section. Let me know down below. Do you prefer a monitor? Do you prefer a TV? And why is that?
Also, let us know, even if like you might have a preference and not the means. So like not everybody can afford or wants to allocate the funds to get monitors or TVs. They go, well, I can game on this. I would just get a nice TV, or the nicest TV I can get in my budget, and I'll use it for everything. Just like I mean, that's how I use my PS5. Even today, with the PS, all the way from the PS3, it has been, yes, it's what I game on, but it's also my like home entertainment system. It plays my movies and all my stuff. So, you know, I think there is definitely an aspect to like, you might have a preference but not the money. You might have both and find yourself on one. So whatever it is, I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah. There is one other thing,
because I would have both. I don't have the space, but I would have both.
I don't know about this because I've had my TV not for a very long time. It's not like super old or anything like that. But you know how the rate of technology moves is super fast. Yeah. 1 year you fucking have your TV and it's an ancient relic, they regard it. I'm wondering if TV latency has gone down a lot since I bought my one. Obviously, I'm not going to go buy a TV and then like just so I can test that out on every single year. But I wonder if that's happened as well.
I don't know. Definitely monitor latency has for sure.
Monitor latency's got down to nothing. I mean,
it's rapid.
I've seen that when I was going to go buy one, they were like 1 millisecond. I was like, all right, well, it doesn't get faster than that. You can't get faster than that now. Come on now.
It's literally the lowest number.
It's like lower than that, and it's before you've clicked it.
It really isn't. It's to that point where like there are some very beast rigs out there that will put like Fortnite in like 1,000 hertz or frames per second or something. Like the game doesn't actually, it can't do that. You know, like you have to turn it down. So the other thing is, at some point, there is a very sharp drop off for like diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Like once you get into somewhere around like 120 FPS. Yeah, I know the human eye can only see it like 24. Yeah, but it feels smoother.
Yeah,
it feels smoother, and you can pick it up.
It's the thing where it's like when you spend a certain amount of money on something, it doesn't necessarily get better. It just does different things.
Right.
It's like you're like, oh, you're paying for like a different finish on the screen or something like that.
Well, like your OLED, the big selling point of the OLED is the black is actually black. Yeah. It's not like that weird light showing you a black color, putting light out, the pixels off.
Yeah.
And that, man, it looks good. It sounds silly, but it looks incredible.
Makes it life. Jack Nicklaus is always like old school, laying back on the sofa with a controller in your hand on the TV.
Mate, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So. All
right. Bro.
Yes.
This is the True Gamer Podcast.
That's right.
Coming to everybody's eyes and ears every Saturday here on youtube.com/Conbrosations. One. And on podcast services around the world. You could just search for the True Gamer Podcast anywhere and everywhere, and you'll see our faces and hear our voices in your ears. It'd be great.
Yeah, we're sorry about that.
Yeah, we're very sorry. Not recommended by doctors. If you are watching on YouTube, if you can hit that like button, that'd be fantastic. Right. If you subscribe to the channel, maybe hit that notification bell, you get our podcast sometimes when they happen, depending on when YouTube likes it. If you're on podcast services as well, you can rate us 5 stars. That'd be really awesome of you on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, things like that. It really helps us out. It'd be really good to help raise us up in those rankings. I checked the other day just randomly, and we're nearly at like 11,000 plays. And
that's
I'm like,
a lot of plays.
I'm like, we're not even done 100 episodes yet, and
that's a lot of plays.
That's really a lot. Like, thank you, thank you guys.
Little pat on the back. But I've looked at our channel, obviously, like. In terms of our channel statistics, although the sub count isn't, we're not 1 million subs yet, just shy. Like our proportions are massive.
Yeah,
we kill it. I was looking at our podcast that got delayed because of your internet issues. Yeah. I was looking at, man, it's only got 160 views, and I was feeling really disappointed. And I looked at our subs, and that's still over 10%.
Yeah, and
YouTube says anything over 4% is good. Yeah. Like is a good video. It's performing really well. And that is one that flopped for us.
Yeah,
I was really happy.
If you guys, what was the next thing I was gonna say?
I don't know. Like, subscribe, rate us everywhere.
Oh yeah. If you want to take your support an extra mile, if you want to take it that one step further, you guys can head over to patreon.com/Conbrosations, where you guys can kick us a couple of bucks a month and get exclusive access to the Conbrosations podcast at the $1 level. Yeah. It's our unfiltered podcast where we talk about everything. I think we're going to do one next week. So that at the $5 level, you get this podcast early as the day that we actually record it, before everyone else, before all of those
the peasants, the plebs.
And also you get your name read out as a true gamer, like the bunch of people I'm about to read out now. I hate that he's the first one on there. Eddie, the high quality Potterhead, Jeremy Horde, Sheps' Crusty Right Nut, Isak Manny, Adam Sunling, Clark 53, Kevin Crow, Sab 2557, Joe McCormack, Random Wavelength, Billy, Diogo, Girthworm Jim, aka Zacchino. Make the Nice Guy 2, please, for the love of fuck Hollywood. Fishy Jackal, Enraged Seahawk of Seattle. Mikey Tilly, Alpha Aquelelele. Max H, Make Bindis Mod, Cobra SS, Sam Mason, Albiscory, Night King, Jack Nicholas. And that's all. That's all the ones right there. I've read. Forgot to put them. And Albiscory. I forgot to put that. Albiscory.
Motherfucker, you were doing Albi dirty, and you did
sorry.
Cass dirty the other day.
Did I?
Yeah, you just didn't. It didn't get read out.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Did I do it today?
No, I think. Wait.
I'm gonna go.
Casper Cora as well.
Casper, the friendly patron.
Yeah, boy.
He's a super bro. Yeah, thank you guys so much for supporting us over on Patreon. It's amazing. And
yeah, we've. Did you change the order of this stuff on purpose? Normally do like our first topic.
I have done
Is it on purpose?
Not on purpose.
Okay.
I accidentally did this.
I don't mind it. It sounds professional. It sounds like we're...
Oh, it sounds like we're actually running a tight ship over here.
Maybe. We just accidentally incompetenced our way into like a... for once, everything went. What's our first topic?
Our first topic. Oh, before we do that, if you guys don't want to give any money, that's totally fine.
That's right.
You guys can watch us here. We love you regardless. You're all amazing. Don't feel pressured. If you do support us, thank you very much. Though. We love you so much.
We do.
Our first topic, bro.
Yes.
It's happened. Amy Hennig is back.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what?
Amy Hennig is back, and she is making a Star Wars game with the guys over at Skydance Media. This is a breaking news report, and I'm fucking in love. I'm
within 24 hours.
I'm still kind of shaking about this. It's actually really cool news. I'm gonna read from Polygon. They got the report here. They say Skydance New Media describes his untitled Star Wars project as a richly cinematic action adventure game featuring an original story.
All right.
But no specific details were revealed, no title, release date, or platforms were announced. And this next quote is from Amy Hennig herself. I've often described seeing Star Wars in 1977 essentially rewired my 12-year-old brain, shaping my creative life and future indelibly. She says, I'm elated to be working with Lucasfilms again to tell interactive stories in a galaxy that I love. Isn't that just amazing to hear?
Finally, somebody in Star Wars that doesn't hate the fans, loves the source material. Yeah,
she sounds genuinely so fucking happy to be back. And after being burnt by the EA game that she would put heart and soul into, and we know she's fantastic from the Uncharted games. We know she's.
So if you're not familiar with Amy Hennig, she was the creative lead, was it?
Creative lead,
for was it all of them?
Uncharted. I know she was Uncharted 2.
I want to say it was 1 and 2, or it might have been 2 and to 4. I don't know, something weird. But she's incredible.
Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, and Golden Abyss.
Cool. She's been on some incredible projects, and she just turns out quality almost always. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that didn't do well, and the stuff that hasn't done incredibly has a cult following. People that played it loved it.
Yeah.
And so a bit of history. She was on, I think it was a team with Ragtag.
The project was called Ragtag.
Oh, it was called Ragtag.
Yeah.
Was it EA? Yeah. We didn't know much. It was supposed to be an open world. Think The Witcher meets maybe Fallout. So it was something along those lines in Star Wars.
Was it open world? It was a Star Wars game basically, and it was going to be made by Amy Hennig, and apparently it's supposed to have a rich story to it.
Yes,
and
I thought
the whole Ragtag thing that she sort of hinted that it was going to be one of those. You've got the Star Wars story, of lightsabers and stuff like that, and that's all cool and things like that. But then you have the Han Solo.
There's a reason Han's a fan favorite, even though he doesn't have a laser sword or space magic.
Exactly, it was a bit more okay, we're going to be smugglers or something like that. There was a hints of that, but we didn't actually know much about it. The only thing that we heard about it was that it was being cancelled years after it started,
which is really frustrating because also EA's been attached to a bunch of Star Wars projects that, despite EA, the Star Wars project themselves, in particular, I'm thinking of Battlefront 2. Once it was all said and done, and they took out all the predatory microtransaction stuff, it was very true to Star Wars. I definitely felt that I loved the game. But it honoured Star Wars really well. It felt Star Wars.
Yeah.
It was really good. It's just a pity the way that it was brought out because of EA.
Yeah.
So it's cool to have Amy Hennig on this project. This is a project we've been asking for desperately.
I'm very, very excited by this. It's probably a long way out still. We're probably not going to hear about this for like 5 years or something.
This is a confirmation that it's happening.
Yeah.
Not that it's like it's not in production yet.
But the main thing that I took away from this was that I was just happy that she wasn't burnt out.
Yeah.
Because she left Naughty Dog because she wanted to do something else and just be more creative and stretch her legs or whatever. And we was like, cool, Amy.
Didn't she make a studio?
No, she didn't make a studio. She was one of the rare people that didn't go and make their own studio. She just wanted to write. She just wanted to make a game. That's what she really wanted. Anyway, she left. And then when we heard she was going to be making this Star Wars game with EA, we were like, yay, Star Wars, and it's like one of the best creators, but you know, EA, whatever. But we'll see what happens anyway. Greatness can't be snubbed out like that.
She was working on it for a couple of years as well,
and then it just got cancelled, and all we heard was that it was something great. And there are people that were working like next to her or friends that came out and said it was actually something really special, and it got canned because EA are just
listen to the way she freaking talks about seeing Star Wars for the first time. So we talk about Star Wars.
It was so great, right? You know that this would have been gold. Anyway, and I was really worried that she was gonna be like, after putting so much heart and soul into something, she was just going to go away and not want to work.
She's had an incredible career. If she goes,
away,
oh yeah, I'm retiring. Like I've made my impact, and you know,
right. I've got a good number of games under my belt. I've done a good thing, but clearly she's still got the drive for it. And I was worried that was going to be snubbed out of her. That was what I was worried about. But just to hear her name back again, and that she's working, and she hasn't got sour with like Star Wars or anything that. That was so great to hear, and I really love that.
It's cool.
Now let's talk about this thought that you had and I had. I'm sure everyone's having. Is this game going to be the cancelled Ragtag game? Is this game going to be like the Ragtag game? What do you think?
Well, obviously EA is never gonna let anything out of their clutches, no matter how they feel about it. So obviously, I think the answer to the question, no, it won't be the Ragtag thing, because they have whatever they can keep, they will have.
It's going to be one of those situations here where anything you made under our hire is our intellectual property.
However, what she does now have is a couple of years of experience making something very good, and all she has to do is just change the story, and you know. So I'm not worried about that. Also, by the way, when I said open world, that might have been a bit like deceiving. I didn't mean it. I meant more like how God of War's open world.
I see what you mean. Like
not
blurred edges.
Yes. It's not really open world, and you load into map levels, but you're free to reign within that.
Also, it's like it's a galaxy, so like it's got to be quite open, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. If you'd play Mass Effect, you'd freaking know how you would handle that.
Mass Effect, is that a game? Is that a video game?
The thing is, she knows her craft so well that, like,
you think she could spin it? It's like, this isn't Ragtag.
Right. Also, like, look, if it's its own story, the question is, are we going to tell... if she was telling, like, a smuggler story...
Yeah.
Well, all she then really has to do is change the name and backstory of the person a little bit, because... all the planets, like, EA doesn't own the rights to Tatooine and stuff, right? And also she's working with LucasArts, who I guess are Disney, so they own much more than they'd ever let EA mess with.
Yeah.
So she's got all the planets, she's got all the known characters, right? So the real question is, are we going to see Watto?
That's the real question.
Because of course we're going to Tatooine. If it's not Tatooine, oh, it's Jakku, it's Tatooine too.
I love how this. I love if anyone was to say, no, let's not go to Tatooine. Everything goes back to Tatooine.
Tatooine like is the center of the universe, isn't it?
We're always going back to
Hawkins, for sure.
The center of the universe.
Exactly. So I mean,
it's a shame about the sand though. It just gets everywhere.
Gets everywhere. It's coarse. God damn
Not like you though.
I hate you so much. The real thing is. And I think this will determine what kind of game we get is, are we playing as someone like Force sensitive or like a Han rogue type guy? And when are we going to set it? Because I could really go for some Old Republic stuff.
Yeah. I wonder if they mention. No, they haven't said. They haven't said anything. Details, have they?
I would know. I would definitely know. Plus, we wouldn't have been able to see anything on Twitter but Mario going, "Oh my god, Old Republic! Oh my god, Old Republic!" You know, like I think we are crying out for something like maybe Darth Revan. Whether or not, I'm not saying he should be like an enemy or a boss or a playable character or an NPC or anything like that, but like we can live in a world where like the Empire, even if you're skirting it, affects your game. Yeah. Right? And the Emperor and Darth Vader. And just hearing that you need to leave because you heard Vader's on the way, you don't even need him in the game. It's Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And he really wants you dead. Like, you've got to run away. You're running away. There's no way to deal with this. So you can be in a world or a universe, you know, a game world where these things exist and you never actually come into contact with them and they can still be ominous. Right? Like, one of the things that makes Insidious was a great movie until we saw the bad guy.
Yeah.
Right? But it was super scary up until that point, and we can do that with a Darth Revan, with a Plagueis. I know I just skipped thousands of years there. Yeah. I'm just giving you examples, right? Like, I think we can do that.
You know, at least your one includes like people with like dark side abilities and like there'll be lightsabers and stuff like that. There are some people out there that think that the world of Star Wars is still super interesting and doesn't always need to have like a Jedi or a Sith or something.
I agree. I agree.
Don't worry, I believe that's true as well. But
there's also other Force sensitives that they never talk about. There's the one thing I really liked about The Force Awakens. Yeah. Was it Force Awakens? No. Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Don't know why I said The Force Awakens. But we saw those Force witches.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of like Force sensitives out there. It isn't just people from the movies. Obviously that's the original canon, but like the universe expanded massively with comics, books, animated shows, and most people don't know of them.
I just don't know how you would market a game, especially with the name Star Wars on it, without a laser sword.
You put a laser sword in it.
Well, I'm only saying, like, you know, I said like there are people out there who think that you don't always have to have a laser sword or a Force, or like a Sith or a Jedi or something like that, because the world of Star Wars is so amazing. To those people, I'm saying I don't know how you would market something like that. And like Star Wars, and then not a single laser sword.
So that's the thing, is I would put a laser sword in it, but for like 30 seconds, where like maybe you're like a space cop and you're going to a planet where you heard a Jedi has been murdered, and so in the promo material you can show like the lightsaber in the darkness, and then you can watch it.
You're treading the line of 343 where you're lying about Master Chief being in the
First of all, how dare you?
How dare you?
All I'm saying is, in the promo material we can see a lightsaber burst, you know, we can the illumination, hear some combat, and then see the lightsaber roll and turn off. Right, so we know a Jedi's dead, and then we can cut to like, cop, oh my god, a Jedi's dead? Do you really want to be, babe, please don't go, if they kill the Jedi, they'll kill you. You know, we can do all of that thing. It's like, okay, so now we know there's Force sensitive stuff. We don't know if we're going to be involved in it.
Do you know what we need to
also, by the way, can I just say, my little pitch there, I had all of right now to think it up. You know,
I've got a better pitch for you.
I want to hear it.
I say we just have a full game. A full game, maybe in VR. Probably, yeah. I think it's better in VR. This game is in VR now, where we play.
Amy, I hope you're listening.
Where we play as the delivery robot.
Yes.
In the room when we're delivering Luke and Leia. And you have to get the tone right, and then obviously you've got those weird spade green things on your hands, and you're reaching inside Padme. And then she just dies, and then you're like.
You get fired. You can't make the payments on your space mortgage.
I'm sorry, we're gonna have to decommission you.
The Space Social Services comes and takes your space isla away.
The way that I imagine the game controlling is a bit like Surgeon Simulator.
Yes.
So you control every little appendage.
That's why she died.
No! God damn it! Reset the game. Oh, we can't. You get one shot to play this whole game. That's what you do.
That would be hilarious.
Of Star Wars games, this is all fantastic, and like, there's not a lot of information, but I just love that we're getting Amy Hennig back. And we're going to get a game from her. Speaking of Star Wars games, we have a fuck ton coming now.
Yes,
like
almost too many. I'm worried.
Exactly.
I'm worried that we're going to be burned out on Star Wars games by the time this comes out.
Right.
Yeah.
There's so just to put into perspective how many games we've got the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order coming soon. We've got a Star Wars FPS game, an unannounced FPS, unnamed FPS game coming from EA and Respawn.
How can it be unannounced?
Unannounced, unnamed, and a strategy game also coming from EA and Respawn. So 3 Star Wars games coming from Respawn. Vince Van Pella's like off his nut right now. Take-Two and Zynga apparently coming out with Star Wars Hunters. I'm guessing it'll be like a mobile game.
Probably.
Quantic Dream did that tease of that Eclipse game that they haven't started production on yet, but it's still coming. Ubisoft has an open world story driven Star Wars game as well. Aspire Media is doing the KOTOR remake as well. And now we've got Amy Hennig's one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Star Wars games.
Yeah, we can ignore, what was it, 2 of them sound like they're mobile, so still 6 though.
Yeah, true.
And we just had Lego Star Wars 7.
Yeah.
The thing is...
fucking mad, isn't it? What the... I mean,
the thing is, what they've realised is Star Wars prints money.
Yeah.
And as long as you delete the sequels and just make them not canon, you can still print money. I think the big problem, though, is that everything, for some reason, a lot of these people just tie everything back to the Skywalkers. Which they shouldn't be.
The only ones in the galaxy.
Yeah, which they shouldn't be. And that bugs me, because the thing about... Okay, this is a Star Wars chat now, guys. The thing that made Luke so interesting was that early on, he wasn't special. Like, yeah, his dad had been a Jedi, but like he wasn't special. You know, and it was this idea that anyone can be a Jedi. And that's what I liked about Rey, because she wasn't special until then she was special.
So she became, they just made her special.
Right. And so that kind of means that like, oh no, you're born into it, pretty much. You know, that's it. So that sucks.
Yeah.
That made it not Star Wars anymore. So...
You know, do you think the Kenobi show is going to change that a bit?
I hope so.
Because there was like an emphasis of like him watching Luke, but that could just be his watching Luke because he knows who he is.
Nonce.
But but do you think there's going to be something that happens in between that changes it?
They've already done a bunch to change the franchise if you were paying attention, like the not the Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, you know.
I've seen bits of it. I'm going to watch it. It's only, I think it's 6 episodes. And I wasn't too invested in it because I was certain they were going to ruin it, which I don't think they have. Apparently, it's well received.
Okay.
And I guess this would be spoilers for you, but in the sequels, Luke says that Ben was his first student. And in this, it's Grogu. It's Baby Yoda. So if Baby Yoda's his first student, then sequels didn't happen, or at least not the way that we were led to believe.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
You've seen the Mandalorian, right? You know that Luke comes.
Yeah.
By the way, I came. that was a great scene. So that
like it's an X-wing. Who could it be?
Gasp! It's a black robed figure with a green lightsaber. No, I can't think of anybody. So changing that. And I know it's tucked away in a little show, but if that is the case, and it is the case because it's coming from Disney, then functionally, we can kind of ignore the sequels. Even though I enjoyed them at the time, but they just have done too much damage.
They have done too much damage.
Look, I'm sorry. It bugs me. It could have been done well, but splitting it up messed things up, and then making Rey who she was, and then making her introduce herself at the end of that movie, like that I can't forgive. I forgive you just ignoring workers' rights and putting poor dwarves in these awful teddy bear suits. That's got to have been a human rights violation, right? And having these nightmare fuel teddies that don't blink the whole way through, you know, like I'll tolerate teddy bears, you know, like I'll tolerate a bunch of stuff in Star Wars because it's Star Wars and it's stupid. I'll even give you Jar Jar Binks because you've given me enough room to pretend he's Darth Binks, you know. But that's too much. That really hurt. I can't square that circle, and I'll work hard to square the circle, you know, and it's not. I can't do it. So. I do hope that Kenobi will change a bunch of stuff for it. This is still a gaming podcast, I swear. Yeah, we swear. But I mean, what I really hope is that we'll get. Did you ever play the OG games, like when you're on Tatooine and stuff, with like episode 1 and stuff? Right when they came out, I had it on PC. I think I did, but it's such a foggy memory now. Like I think we could spend a lot more time as nobody particularly special in Mos Eisley and on Naboo, just doing stuff, right? Trying to make the Rebel Alliance happen, or trying to get away from like Darth Revan or whoever.
Yeah.
And we get to see those incredible, especially in Naboo and Tatooine. Like, they're so visually representative of Star Wars. And Coruscant could be cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need space powers. It's cool. It's cool to have that power fantasy. That's why, like, was Starkiller, The Force Unleashed?
Unleashed, yeah.
That's why those games are so popular. But we don't need it. Han's a fan favorite for a reason.
I feel there is that.
It's because he doesn't have any family, so he's on his own. So we'll put him down as Solo.
What? How did you come up with that name? It's so ingenious and so like, wow, inventive.
I'll never forgive Disney for making Rogue One and the Solo movie. Ever.
It sucks so much because the guy that plays young Solo,
he's
so good.
Brilliant.
He's
so good.
So good.
Did you know he's got no family and he's on his own? That's how they come up with his name. But the worst thing is that the reveal at the end.
Yeah.
You know, with like, I hated that movie. I want to see more of it because, like you said, Han's great.
Yeah.
And then we know that character.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as we're still on thing, do you think Darth Maul's going to be in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show? They play Duel of the Fates, and some people are like,
yes.
Mario's like, oh, they play Duel of the Fates when Anakin and Obi-Wan fought.
What
like,
does
shut
Mario
up.
know?
He's an idiot.
He's an idiot.
He's an idiot. And yes, Vader's going to be in it, obviously. But you know who'd be better? Double lightsaber guy.
Exactly. Double lightsaber guy. All the way. Fuck the father guy. Fuck that guy.
Fuck the father guy. Oh, that's amazing.
I'm very excited for this Amy Hennig project.
Yes, me too.
It should be really good. We're not going to hear about it for a long time, but just knowing that she's back in it has put a good smile on my face, and it's kind of restored a little bit of faith in the whole gaming industry. A little bit that
I have hope now
that we didn't lose a creative.
Yeah.
Same thing happened yesterday. So it was the anniversary of God of War, like I said, and some people were expecting God of War Ragnarok news to come out.
Yes,
and Cory Barlog took to Twitter, to the official Twitter account from Sony Santa Monica, and posted a video saying, hey, it's not quite ready yet, but we're going to show it off soon. Don't worry about it. We'll show, as soon as it's ready, we'll let you guys know. And hearing about Amy Hennig coming back to gaming, and knowing that Cory Barlog going off of Twitter wasn't because he's deathly ill somewhere or something like that, kind of put a little bit of faith back in me and like made me smile a little bit. So I'm happy about gaming recently. It's really,
ironically,
really
we know almost as much about Amy Hennig's project as we know about Starfield.
there you go.
Game of the year.
This is going to be game of the year. I can tell you right. Look at the
PlayStation exclusive.
Look at what they said. Richly cinematic. It's already game of the year.
See,
I do like that. Richly cinematic.
that does sound very good.
Because the Ubisoft one, they're just like open world, but story driven, guys. It's not like our usual games that are all. By the way, did you see that goddamn fucking? Did you see that stupid tweet from Ubisoft? No. I'm gonna find it so I can fucking say it. Sorry about how angry I am about this.
Ubisoft just has a direct line to my nerves, to my last nerve.
Right there, it's just straight. It
cuts
bypasses
the queue
all the other ones
and just starts jumping on my last nerve. Is this the most unaware tweet ever?
Yeah. God damn it! If I could just find this.
You tweeted this out. So for those of you that aren't aware, Ubisoft tweeted out something that is very not Ubisoft, but it's their line. It's like, that idea of like when we all play, we all win, and then you buy up studios and make everything exclusive.
Very much, yeah.
Where did it go?
I tweeted it. I'm gonna.
You did tweet it. This is awful. Oh my god. No.
Sorry about this dead moment right here. Oh, here we go. So this is a statement directly from Ubisoft.
Yeah.
And they say, regarding games, they're saying, bigger isn't always better in game design.
That's right.
Says Ubisoft. And I was like...
Have you played Valhalla?
What?
What are you talking about?
Your games are criticized for having so much shit on the map, unnecessary shit, and being so big beyond the scope of the story.
To the point that it's like just disrespectful of your time.
Right? And you guys are saying that, and that was the... So, yeah, oh my God, look at that. It's like, this is Ubisoft's thought.
Yes.
Just say that.
That's it.
Ubisoft's
that's a real
idea
map,
is
by
a
the
map.
way. I don't know if you know. The original, that's pubs in the UK.
Oh, is it? Well,
Yeah.
shit, jeez, that's a lot of pubs.
That's a lot of
That
pubs.
is a lot of pubs.
I'm starting to think we have a drinking problem.
I don't see it. I don't see it personally.
Yeah, it is. I think you quote tweeted it or replied to it or something, and I replied to you saying this is like the least self-aware tweet ever made.
Yeah.
Ever made.
Yeah.
You know? It's sort of like, imagine that one guy from Germany in the 1940s saying like, you know, it's really important to be kind to your fellow man. Really?
Is it though?
There's an interesting point of view.
Yeah, you interesting take you have there on
Or like
there.
China coming out, beefing out somebody in the West about workers' rights or something like that.
Right.
Imagine.
It's like hold on.
Hold on a minute.
All right, yeah. Let us know, guys, if you're excited for the Star Wars game featuring Amy Hennig's writing.
The thing that I am like a little bit, I would just want to temper expectations here. Our expectations of their excitement is that a lot of these guys are younger, and so they didn't play like Uncharted 2 or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so they're not connected to it. Like they get God of War.
Yeah.
Right? But these games are of that. They're not that good, but they're very good.
Tailgate wrote into our Discord server.
Yes.
And says, I'm really excited for Amy Hennig's Star Wars game. It's probably going to be called whatever Project Ragtag's final name was going to be, because I'm pretty sure EA has that IP locked down in their vault, but the name of her game ends up being But the name of the game ends up being Uncharted, but Star Wars. I'm 100% down.
Star Charted.
Star Charted, there we go. If she puts her... Because that's the thing, Uncharted is such a great franchise. If you rub some Star Wars on that shit, I think it'd be fucking great.
All you're going to do is take Nathan Drake, and instead of a gun, you're going to give him Han's blaster, and win 90% of the way to this game being made.
Nathan Drake, very much a Han character, isn't he?
Yeah, basically Nathan Drake is just
Indiana Jones.
Is just copyright different enough. Indiana Jones, a little bit younger, not a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Like that's all they really changed. And Han, all you have to change of Han is that he's like, you know, get rid of some of those gambling debts and he's a smuggler, and make him like, you know, a black market antiquities dealer. Alien antiquities are going to be just as interesting as human antiquities, you know? And if you make something where, for various reasons, like the size of the temple and all that stuff, you can't get all of that tech you would have otherwise used in, or maybe there's some force thing that stops like hover tech working, so those full pits are now a problem. Also, it's space magic. Like, it can work however you want. You
exactly,
know?
however you want it to work. Jack did write in about the Star Wars project as well, but he got one thing confused. It's not actually EA making this game. She's moved on now to Skydance Media. So he says, yeah, I hope EA... Is it EA? Don't cancel Amy Hennig's Star Wars project again. She might have a mental breakdown.
That's not EA.
Exactly. So you're lucky. I mean, it can still be cancelled, but it's not EA with their, like, has it got microtransactions? Well, we don't want it.
Right.
The few sneak peeks of her last project that we got in the montage trailers look really nice. Just let her have her vision realized. I learned that EA through single player games were obsolete, and thought single player games were obsolete, and that's why the last game was cancelled. But then, how did Jedi Fallen Order happen? That was the confusing thing, because they let Jedi Fallen Order happen, and then they were like, yeah, single players don't really sell, and then I'm like, yeah, but you've seen how much they sell.
Yeah.
And then they go and cancel Amy's project anyway.
This is the thing as well. It's like, how many of the core base wanted to play Battlefront 2 despite all the massive problems with it? And after massive reworks, it worked. And they cut funding and they cut the team. And then they mess around with Fallen Order. And then... I don't understand their decision-making process. By the way, I knew there was something. That's Amy Hennig is also my one...
Crush?
Sort of saving grace. I'd bang her definitely.
Just to be in that creative mind.
She's on Forspoken. Or she's involved with Forspoken.
Yes, she is.
That's my thing, because like you said, we've seen stuff from it and I'm not sure. But then I'm like, okay, it looks cool, and Amy Hennig's involved, so I got to check it out, because She rarely misses.
I'm with you as well, but that makes me so... That's why I'm so conflicted.
Yeah, I'm conflicted as well, because we don't know anything about the game. In fairness, we know a lot more about it than Starfield, but like, I'm with you, I'm conflicted. But then I'm like, if I was going to trust anyone in this realm, it would be Amy.
Yeah.
She's going to be the person that gets my... Not unconditional. We've seen what unconditional trust gets, right? And that doesn't mean that she can't miss, or she can't have been involved with a project and they took her stuff, put it into something that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she can be... Her bits of the project can be good and the project can suck.
Yeah.
But she's, she's fairly senior and in general has a very good understanding of like compelling story writing and characters and stuff like that. So, and yeah, like I think probably will Forspoken be a good game? No idea. What we do know is it will likely have a good story that may not connect. Like it might just not, we might not care.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's got fun movement mechanics. So
we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to just wait and see.
Yeah, buddy.
Isak Manny wrote in and he said, okay, he says more... He wrote everything that we're going to talk about today, a couple of topics, all in just an equals to something.
Right.
More Star Wars games equals large POG.
Right.
And then he's got other things.
Big win. Yeah.
When we go to the
Thanks, Isak.
When we go to the next ones, you'll hear what he thinks about how much of a POG other things are.
You got to remember this guy's. He's a big Twitch. He likes Twitch.
Yeah, and I'm an old man.
This is Poggers.
This is Poggers.
No cap.
Poggers, no cap, son. And
no caps lock.
Is lolcat still a thing, or is that?
I don't know, bro.
Was that the stuff that we said there? Thank you very much. I believe there was one more as well. Gams Master 99 is a new patron of ours. He says, "I'm super keen for anything Star Wars related, so I'm really happy to see Amy Hennig leading this new game that has been announced. Honestly, your faith has been put in a good spot. Also, hopefully, it works out.
Star Wars in a weird way is also." Leading on to Gams Master here. If you look at his PFP there, it's just Space Samurai basically. Space Samurai with laser swords.
Exactly. Hot samurai swords.
Hells yeah.
Very hot.
I mean, Jin put his one on fire. We went one step above that.
Exactly. It just goes. That's one thing about them. They never speak about like the proximity, like heat that comes off of them, right?
Yes.
They just sort of go near and then they boost the volume of them.
They boost the volume,
and it's like, is it loud or is it hot? I don't know. Is it just loud?
Yeah.
I imagine it's quite hot when you get near, right?
It must be, right? Also, one thing we've never spoken about and needs to be addressed: who sets the lightsaber length?
Yeah.
Because you can't do that with, say, like a torch, a flashlight.
Can I tell you something really embarrassing?
Yes.
So when I was a kid and I watched Star Wars, obviously I was super into it. I was fucking nerd about this shit. And I bought like books and stuff like that so I can read about all kinds of like lore in the background, stuff like that. Okay. And one of them had like a lightsaber broken down into pieces.
I've seen these diagrams, yeah.
And it had like the crystal inside it, and it had all the parts to it. And it explained it as if it was a real life thing.
Yeah. Obviously, because it's real. Star Wars is real.
And me as a kid
was
like...
historical.
And me as a kid, I was like, I need to buy all of these parts so I can make myself a lightsaber.
Obviously.
Why haven't people made a lightsaber? The schematics are right here. And I was like researching on like AOL dial-up internet, like what the fuck?
Where do you buy kyber crystals?
Kyber crystal, and I'm looking for this. I'm like, what's that battery pack called? This thing called? And I legit thought it was a real thing.
These guys are just idiots. There's mans in North London carrying around like paring knives and stuff and hunting knives. Why are you carrying a lightsaber shank?
Right? And yeah, I thought lightsaber was real. I wish.
What age were you?
I don't remember, but it was close to the time that I thought that maybe possibly Pokemon could be real.
I mean, Pokemon, they're real Pokemon. We call it dog fighting. But...
And I would dream about the Pokemon being real. But imagine my life if Pokemon were real. Fuck this school nonsense. I'd be like, that's it. I'm 10 years old. I can go out there now.
I'm running away. I'm packing my favorite Pokemon, some chocobars. Bye, mum. See you later.
See you later. Anyway.
Imagine you're a kid in the Pokemon world. And you throw a tantrum. You're like, I'm leaving. You're only 4. But you are advanced for your age. Okay, take your Pokemon. Wait, no, I didn't mean it.
No, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean that. All right.
Next topic.
Okay, our next topic, bros.
Actually, frick that. Before we get to our next topic,
go ahead.
Incredible true gamers. Oh, we already did that. Never mind. Frick 'em.
We do have one topic to bring up.
What's that?
Correcting Conbrosations. Your favorite topic.
I definitely just messed with a setting.
Oh no,
with my foot.
I think we're okay though. It looks all right.
Okay, cool. Shit.
Go ahead. Correcting Conbrosations.
That's right. If you're new around here, we will say things on the internet, and we've never let facts and the truth get in the way of a strongly held belief. So when we say something wrong in this podcast, because it's almost certainly going to happen, head down to the comment section of this video and you write, at 15 minutes and minus 43 seconds, when you said this, it was actually that. And then next week, we will read out your comments and credit you. Don't forget to like the video. And that's how we go. So corrected conversations. Do we have any corrections?
We have some. They're not real corrections, to be honest, but we'll read them out anyway. Giuseppe writes in, and he actually did this 1 hour ago, so he watched the podcast recently.
Legend.
He goes, at 1 minute and 46 seconds and 72 seconds, 46 minutes and 72 seconds. He didn't say that, but Epic Games is a multiplayer studio, if I'm not wrong, like Fortnite, Rocket League, etc. If PlayStation is pumping money into these studios and also buying Bungie to make their own PlayStation exclusive multiplayer games, they're already good at making amazing single player games. Now, maybe they'd want to expand into new multiplayer games. So that could be a reason why they're investing so much money in Epic Games. Last week we spoke, they invested $1 billion into Epic Games. We thought, why were they doing it? It makes kind of like, I mean, okay, they get to use Unreal Engine, but it's not specifically said
to use it. And it was the cost for it's free up to like 10 million sales. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
And now that is actually a really good point. Fortnite, the biggest multiplayer game online.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they, buy some expertise from them or something like that? Maybe that's what they're doing.
Yeah, it could well be.
Very good catch right there.
That is a live service game, obviously. And that's, as I've said before, the pinnacle way to do microtransactions, in my opinion, is the way Fortnite has done it. And I think Apex is good, but their stuff's on the store for too long and stuff. I still think there's issues with that.
And so getting that expertise is worth that money.
Right. And so there's definitely some live service stuff there. Obviously, Fortnite's doing really well. And they guaranteed it's probably worth the money just for the analytics. They must have so much data.
Yeah.
That alone is probably worth it. Maybe not $1 billion, but
$1 billion is a bit high. But
yeah.
I mean, if it means banging straight out of the gate.
Yes.
It's worth that money at the end of the day, isn't it? Diogo, first of all, wrote in and he says, you forgot the comments about the hit franchise Sonic the Hedgehog, a.k.a. Sonic, a.k.a. True Cinema, and I am appalled, he says. We didn't forget, we just intentionally sidestepped it. Imagine not talking about the great games that exist, like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic Adventures 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie, pretty much anything Sonic related, Shep slap.
Bruv, you're playing a freaking rat that runs a bit and collects rings. You know, in the wild, those would be like beer things and it would choke to death.
Exactly.
So you can keep your Sonic the Hedge pig. Get fricked. The worst thing is I love Sonic games.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not bad. I mean, he's not better than Pikachu, let's be honest.
Obviously.
Tailgate wrote in, he says, The Quarry is not part of the Dark Pictures anthology, like we said. It's a new IP published by 2K, and the Dark Pictures games are published by Bandai Namco. The Quarry will be a fun game regardless. Also, you should stream the Dark Pictures games. They are good horror experiences you will like. You will like them, especially if you're into Until Dawn. And they are some of the few modern horror games whose jump scares actually managed to get me. So that's a really good recommendation. Yeah, so it's a different thing. Okay, we thought it was, but it wasn't.
Good to know.
Sean Taylor writes in, he says, around the 1 hour, 6 minute and 72 second mark. Eddie says, The Quarry is... Okay, says the same thing. Okay, cool. We read the one there. No problem. You shut up,
We already know that, Sean, you idiot. Our brains are big and wrinkly and yours is small and smooth.
What an idiot, right?
What a stupid freaking idiot.
Runic Firebird goes, I see you didn't want to call, I didn't want to call you out completely. What the fuck? See,
learn to read, bruv.
I can't read. It's too far. Oh, so let me make this bigger because that's my issue right now. There we go. Okay.
Isn't that the point of your glasses? What, you got glasses?
It makes it sharper. It doesn't make it bigger, unfortunately.
Okay.
I see you didn't want to call out your complete smooth brain comment, Eddie, from the top 10 Lego Star Wars video. That I get that. I get the correction from the Star Wars. So he got the correction from the Star Wars video. Okay. Okay, he was hosted a channel on the flagship show. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't read out the correction over there, all right? And I'm still not going to do it now. So get fucked over there. Thank you very much.
It's a good thing that that comment was read so smoothly and we didn't stumble over it for like 5 minutes.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Also, I'm not going to throw stones about being dumb. I didn't even know how glasses worked.
Yeah. You thought the glasses literally magnified.
I was like, they're magnifying glasses.
That's not it. No, that's not it.
Shit.
I could just see further away. I don't need to see things close.
Oh my god, we have science degrees.
Yeah, we're pretty dumb. We're pretty dumb people. Thank you for tuning in every day, guys. I don't know why you listen to us, idiots. Anyway, that's Correcting Conbrosations. Thank you guys so much for writing in. We love you so much. Keep them coming in this episode for all the dumb shit that we say.
That's right.
Today. Okay, our next topic.
Yeah.
Gaming and movies and TV shows. We have 3 things to talk about.
Okay.
The first one is that Ghost of Tsushima is getting a movie. We know that, right?
Yeah.
We recently found out that the director and writer is from the John Wick movies.
Oh, sick.
How cool is that? That sounds like a match made in heaven.
That's very cool because if you don't know, they were also the stunt guys for The Matrix 1 and 2, I think. So these guys know combat. And I don't care what you think about Ghost of Tsushima, the standout thing, other than it being gorgeous, is the combat. That combat system is incredible. And these are the guys to do it justice. So now, my question is, what sort of Japanese dogs do they have over there?
Yes.
Because that...
Because we need to kill a dog first, right?
Also, and here's a question. I thought the voice acting in Ghost of Tsushima was outstanding.
Yeah.
But they did obviously have... In the English, they have Japanese accents. So, are these guys going to talk in English? Or is it going to be... What language is it going to be in? That's an odd one, right?
I imagine it's going to be English. It has to be English,
I would think so.
This is the thing. Like, while PlayStation are going to go for the wider appeal, like broader audience. And like it or not, English is the most spoken language. What is it? Chinese actually, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we're actually third.
Okay, all right. Well, the people who are buying things in Hollywood and the movies and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the one they're going to go for, I imagine. But I thought that was really cool that they're getting the John Wick director and writer.
Yeah.
That seems really awesome, I think, right there.
That's very cool. And I'm glad to hear that they're doing well.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get Keanu. Oh, God, if it's 47 Ronin.
Well, this is the thing.
Did you ever see that?
I did, yeah, I did.
I'm so sorry. I saw it too.
I like how you take that as a personal thing. It's like, I'm so sorry for you. I'm sorry we did that to you.
I could do with like a modern samurai movie that is good though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but I actually quite enjoy samurai themed things. I keep it quite on the DL.
Yeah. Do you want to? I mean, people like hearing about your personal life and like your likes and interests.
I'm a private guy,
like
you know. I don't talk about my interests in gaming and movies and stuff. Really, it shows.
You just tell us the not safe for work stuff on the Combros podcast.
That's right. You need to pay as little as $1 a month to get exclusive access to that from patreon.com/conversations. Which, by the way, this bugs the shit. I mean, I need to mention it because I forgot. You know, our YouTube is youtube.com/conversations1.
Yeah.
We own youtube.com/conversations. They won't let us use it on this channel.
Yeah.
That burns me up so much.
It's one of the great things about YouTube, you know.
It's so stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I have a question for you on this because it's sort of gaming related.
Go ahead.
We're getting a Last of Us TV show and we're getting a Ghost of Tsushima movie.
Yes.
Which do you think is the... First of all, I'm a little bit worried because we've never really gone games to... I mean, the Halo show's shown us. Of the two, which do you think is the better way to go? Show or movie?
So this is the thing. I think...
Weirdly, I think Ghost of Tsushima is a really good one to do as a movie.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think Ghost of Tsushima might do really well. One, because it's a brand new IP and there's not, while it was great, there's not a huge amount of investment in it.
Yes, I agree.
I'm not frothing at the mouth every time I see Jin Sakai.
Facts.
However, I think he's a great character, and I
love Jin. Apparently I hate Jin, but like
you do hate Jin. Yeah,
that's right. Whereas with like Ellie and Joel,
exactly, you are built into these characters and you fucking love them. And if you see them in any way disrespected or not even fully realized, it's gonna hurt. But the fact that it's a TV show means there's more time that they can put more of the story in there and not leave parts out.
Like they did with The Witcher.
Exactly. So,
right.
Exactly. Shit. Fuck. So there's a chance. But
they've got more of a chance to get it right. Yeah.
But then there's the con that, like, whenever you make anything into a movie from a video game, it always goes bad. So then it's so hard to call. It's so hard to call.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
Speaking of The Last of Us TV show, recently Pedro Pascal did an interview with GQ magazine, talking about he was talking actually about the Nicolas Cage movie that he's doing, which apparently
that looks great. Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage, and he's invited to like a millionaire or billionaire's like private party, but he's like a cartel leader.
He's a big fan of Pedro Pascal, who is an actor, and he wants to in that world, and he wants to hang out with him because he's a big fan of him. Is it Nicolas Cage or
Pedro Pascal? I think the story is Pedro Pascal is like a cartel leader, and he's a big fan of Nicolas Cage. So he brings Nicolas Cage over.
That's the way
to just be himself because he's a fan of Nicolas Cage.
Exactly. It sounds like a great fucking movie, to be honest.
I've seen some, obviously trailers for it. It looks really funny.
I would like to go see that. Anyway, he was in an interview with GQ talking about that movie, and then the question of the Last of Us TV show came up, and he said to him, like, "How do you feel about it?" And he goes, "Have you played the games?" And this is where one thing goes a little bit sideways. And he goes, "I tried to play the games for a little bit, and I couldn't play it. I handed the controller over to I think he said to his nephew.
Okay.
And watched his nephew play for like however long he could for the rest of that day, a couple hours, whatever it is. And then he left, and he had to go to record something. Right. Sorry about that. And he had to go away. And then he never went back to it.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why he said he did that was because he didn't want to take on too much of Joel's persona and acting from what he saw from the game, because then he might try and imitate that. How do you feel about that whole thought that he hasn't played the game, and that he hasn't that he didn't want to imitate Joel specifically?
I have two opinions on this. One, being a big fan didn't help Henry Cavill save the role, or save the show. I think, let me be clear, I think Henry Cavill's great as Geralt. I think the problem is the show and the writing of Geralt, right? And then I think, so a little bit of me is like, is it going to make much difference, right? And he is a professional actor, so like he can be like directed in whatever's needed, or if there's a clip, they can always show him a clip. This is what you're going for in the, from the game. Then there's another part of me that's sort of like a reverse Mads Mikkelsen about the what do you call it when you stay in your role? Method acting. Like, oh, you don't want to take on too much. You should know what your freaking thing is, and you're an actor. Don't put those things in. You're a professional, right? Your job is to act something a specific way. So how are you going to take on something from a show if it's totally different? Your job is to do it totally different to that. So it shouldn't matter. But so it bugs me that he's not connected to it. A little bit of me was thinking, well, he could watch the cutscenes, but so much that game happens outside of the cutscenes. It's those little moments when, like, you're exploring and Ellie finds a comic and goes, oh, hey, what's this about? Or like there's a movie, which I forget, it's like their fake version of Twilight, and she mentions it, and he goes, oh yeah, they actually made 3 of those. I took my daughter to see them, stuff like that. Like, it's those moments that go from this being a good game with a good story to, like, an incredible game that is easily in my top 3. And I don't foresee ever leaving. Ever. I suspect my top series of games will have to expand. Well, like, because The Last of Us and God of War aren't leaving. So I can't go, oh, what's your top 3 games? No, I can only give you a top 10. That's the world I want to live in. So it bugs me that you should know, because also it helps to build the world. And it's going to help. Joel's a really interesting character because of all the stuff that we didn't see him do that we learn from him. So, like, you know, when you're tracking him as Ellie, you find people and you're like, oh, Joel did this. Yeah, he told me about this. Like, there's a lot that we don't hear there of all the dark shit that Joel does. Or when he knows they're being ambushed, he goes, yeah, I know this ambush. I've been on both sides of it. Yeah. And we don't hear much more of it, but that means this dude is a cold-blooded killer or could go down this dark path. And you need to know that about this character. You need to know that Joel isn't a saint and is very, very far away from being a saint. And the only thing that stops him being a villain ultimately is Ellie. Yeah. You really need to know that, or you're not going to get it right.
When I read this, I was in two minds, especially about both of the parts. So when he said like he tried to play it and he couldn't play it, I was like, not everybody has the skill to play games, and like that just shows how
my girlfriend can't play anything. Yeah,
just shows how skillful we are as gamers.
We're true gamers, and he's not.
And I was like, cool. And then when he goes like he didn't, he goes he hasn't played the games. I was like, well, you're the actor. I can say okay to the actor, because then it's on the director to try and tell you what to do, and then you're supposed to follow his actions and whatnot. And if you do it wrong, then he's supposed to like try and mold you into the right area and go to the right. I was like, cool. But then when he said I didn't want to imitate Joel, I was like,
that's literally your job.
Then why are we making this show? Because the whole point of the thing is that this is based off of a video game, and the reason why it has The Last of Us attached to it is because The Last of Us name carries so much cachet with all of these people. You're supposed to imitate this person.
You're actually playing number one.
And I was like, that bit I did. I was like, I was so close to being. I'm on board with you.
Yeah.
And I understand, like I've said many times, that I understand why these creatives sometimes go, I don't want to copy the exact same thing that came before because I want to put my own feel on it and maybe create something better. Yeah. Cool, I get it. But we're not starting from scratch here. We're not doing, it's not like we're going, okay, we're doing a reboot of something. We're not doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's something you're specifically tasked to copy this thing, and you're saying you don't want to watch it because you might be scared you're copying.
I mean, like, thing. Imagine. Here's my question to you: would you have been happy, or even as angry, if they said, like, one of your favorite franchises, we're going to do the Harry Potter movies, but have you read Daniel Radcliffe? Have you read the books? No. As an 11-year-old, I haven't read the books. I didn't want to like take on too much of it. Like, I'm too busy. You're literally playing the titular character. You need to know.
Yeah.
So that really bugs me.
Yeah, that bugs me.
That really bugs me. And I don't believe you get the relationship from just the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you could say, okay, for this day on set, like if something goes wrong or something, you can go, do you know what? Never mind. You can go on YouTube, get all the cutscenes. It's like 3 hours, 4 hours long. We're just going to watch the movie of what happens. But you can't do that because so much happens through the experience. And also so much of the world is built through the experience. Like, you played it on Grounded because you're a freaking idiot.
I'm a true gamer.
You're a true gamer. Exactly. Like, you're in this world, and if you open every drawer and it's like 5 scissors, all the alcohol in the world, all the clean rags in the world, all the ammunition, you don't feel the world. When you open a drawer and you're like, a broken pair of scissors, half a thing of like spitback moonshine, and 1 bullet, I'm rich.
Oh yes.
Let me get that dirty rag full of old engine oil and wrap myself in a bandage. You know, like, you feel the world a bit more, you know?
Yeah.
So like, so much is lost without doing that.
Yeah. And I don't know if anyone could accurately convey that to somebody who doesn't play games. Clearly he's saying he doesn't play games. I don't think there's any way that a director could convey any feeling of the thing to somebody. Again, if they don't play games. This
feels like something that we've always said this, that having practical sets is going to make it so much easier for your actors to get like in the right frame of mind. And I would have thought they'd do a lot of practical stuff here with like old apocalyptic houses and stuff. And, you know, you open the one tattered old drawer and you find the 2 bits of ammunition.
There was one thing that I don't know if many people saw. If I can find it, I'll put it up on the screen now. It's a video of somebody recording the set of them recording The Last of Us. And it's the specific scene where they're driving the truck into a convenience store.
Oh, okay.
They drive the truck into a convenience store, and then the people come from the outside and like start shooting at them.
Yeah.
And someone managed to line that up with like the game and say, "Wow, they've done it like 1 for 1. Like they've actually done this."
Yeah.
So makes me kind of.
I'm gonna look for that.
It does. I don't know how you'd search for it, but if you can find it, that would be great. But I thought that was quite good because it meant that they are trying to stick true to the game in some way like that. So yeah. Is there anything up there?
Not really.
No. Go for that just for a second. No, that's not.
I don't think that's what we're looking for. That I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying that I think we're both saying this, that this doesn't mean that it won't be a great performance and a great show. What it means is it would have been better to hear the actor say, I have a really good understanding of this role. I will perform however I'm directed based on the vision of the team making it. But I know these characters and I want to do them justice because I've connected with the story. I know how amazing it is and I want to be part of telling our own version of it or our own section of it. Instead, freaking guy was like, I played in Game of Thrones. I didn't want to read the books because did he read the books for that? I bet he said he would have.
Yeah.
Yeah. To get in the role, I fucked my own sister like we do in the show. Like, shut up, Pedro Pascal.
And in that moment, in order to capture fire. What the fuck kind of word is that?
Capture fire.
Capture fire. That's a weird one.
Yeah, you're so stupid. I bet you're an idiot. And you think glasses make things bigger.
In order to capture the horrific skull breaking scene where he crushes his skull. I actually had my skull crushed in.
Yeah.
And
you get that feel from all of my other interviews when I say I don't connect with the. Yeah, that bugs me. I want it to be good, and I do think The Last of Us is a show that, because of the way the game goes and the world that it's in, it's set to have, unlike The Witcher, it's set to be really easy to do it justice, I think. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm just not gonna. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah. Can I have to turn on this?
AC, yeah,
I'm about to die up in here.
I forgot to turn that back on. I did it for the bit. It's been on for an hour. Oh my days.
Yeah.
No wonder it's so warm in here.
Woo, it's a bit warm in here. Anyway, our next movie thing that we're going to be talking about. Jason Momoa is apparently in talks to star in a Minecraft movie. Let that sink in just for a second.
What?
There's so many things there. It's like, okay, Minecraft movie.
Oh my days. Bruv, what if this is this generation's Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, I see. Oh, all right.
Just, okay, total aside. I swear
we'll get back to... Is it going to be in real life? You're going to have Steve walking around like if he comes around.
Oh, he goes into Minecraft.
Could be.
Total aside, Bob Hoskins, who played the detective in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. By the way, if you haven't seen that movie, you need to watch it. Apparently, his son, who was like 5 or something at the time, didn't speak to him for 3 weeks after the movie came out because he complained that his dad had worked with guys like Bugs Bunny and not let him meet the cast.
Oh, bless.
And he was furious at his dad.
You didn't let me meet
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah. You didn't let me meet.
It isn't Bugs. It's, copyright
it's the
distinct
other thing,
Bugs, but yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. How could you do this to me, Dad?
That's so funny.
That's great, isn't it?
That's so funny.
That's brilliant.
But yeah, Jason Momoa is going to be starring in he's in talks to be starring in a Minecraft movie.
Great. I wonder what domestic abuser they'll get for his love interest.
If WB's got anything to say for it. I just thought that was so funny because like one of the reasons why Jason Momoa gets the roles he does is because of his physical appearance.
No, it's his acting chops, bro.
For sure, right? Yeah. And in this, it's just like, yeah, that's not a factor.
That's definitely not a factor. It would be cool to see Jason Momoa get to like do some acting. Yeah. I don't mean that negatively, but I feel like I don't know how good he is as an actor.
Yeah.
Whereas like someone like Henry Cavill, very similar, who did Superman.
Very similar.
We've seen him in he's known for being handsome and muscular and stuff. Yeah. Also played a superhero. But I've seen him in so much stuff now that I know he's a good actor. I know he's actually quite a talented guy. And I feel like I haven't really got that from Jason Momoa. So, I don't know, it'd be cool to see him actually do something, do some acting.
Would you like to move on to our next topic?
Yeah, man.
So, our next topic is a bit of a rumor. It's very little information here, but I wanted to put this out on people's radar because it could be coming very soon. It could be like a shadow drop.
Okay.
A PlayStation developer, he is a PlayStation Studios visual artist, but goes by the name of Robert Morrison. He teased on Twitter that there is a banger, quote unquote, a banger, coming from PlayStation that has been in the works for about 3 to 5 years already.
Jak and Daxter.
That's not going on. has been in the works for 3 to 5 years already. So
I feel like we would have heard about this.
That's the thing. I mean, while PlayStation isn't known for like they're not Bethesda, where they're like Elder Scrolls 6, and then 5 years go by and nothing, right? While they're not like that, they still have a hype cycle, and you think you would hear about it at least like a year, maybe a bit more than before it comes out.
We've got
if it's 3 to 5 years, things coming out any day now.
It's coming out any day, and also you're telling me that there's a PlayStation exclusive that's been in the works for potentially 5 years. Let's just say 3 years, and we haven't heard of it. We've got our finger on the pulse here a fair bit, a little bit more unusual. We follow all the other people that are good, reliable sources like Nibel and all those guys. Like, I'm constantly tweeting everybody at Sucker Punch.
Yeah. You think they would tell you, right?
Like, my point is, some people have relationships with these devs. Me, I'm harassing them, but like, I feel like we would have heard something.
This one was actually sent to me by Cass as well, so thank you, Cass, for sending that in there. But yeah, it's super interesting. There's no information, just that.
What could it be? Jak and Daxter, for real, could be, but I doubt it. I feel like, again, we would have heard about that.
The problem is, the PlayStation Studios visual arts team, they move around. They go to, like, all of the studios to help out with all kinds of things. So, he could be working at any one of the studios. Like, one of the other... Yeah, we
can't narrow it down. Yeah.
Exactly. One of the other things, so a couple of the other rumors coming out, is that Insomniacs apparently is working on a new multiplayer game in addition to Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine.
Well, how can they do...
How?
It really is Insomniac.
Exactly. Like no one else could be doing it. And also, Guerrilla apparently has been working on another game as well.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, so he could be working at any one of these studios. We just don't know.
It's a good time to be a PlayStation.
There's a lot coming on. A lot coming on. And yeah, I just wanted to say that because while we do have after God of War.
Yeah.
I don't really foresee anything known on the horizon coming that we know from like we don't really know if there's a Last of Us 3 coming. There could be.
We're not sure.
Yeah. Horizon Horizon Forbidden East, I will say, could be coming. Is pretty much confirmed.
They set up for that. It's not been confirmed yet. We know there's a second Ghost of Tsushima game,
but that's all like 5 years away. Ghost of Tsushima might be a bit sooner, but still.
Yeah.
It's probably still going to be a couple of years away.
These freaking PlayStation guys reuse assets. Could you imagine?
Bastards, right?
They're going to have to just take that whole combat system away, start from scratch.
Right. But other than that, we don't really know of anything else on the horizon. But it turns out there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we just don't know about. Anyway, that's super interesting to know about there.
What could it be?
No, bruv.
I really can't think... Like off the top of my head, and something that like we haven't heard is in the works. That's the bit that's throwing me.
It's also subjective as well. When he says bangers, it's like it could be something like Jak and Daxter,
right? And
it's like that could be a banger, but it's not going to reach everybody, right?
Yeah. It's a banger of the crowd that like that stuff, yeah.
Right? It's like, Last of Us remake,
right.
But then is it a brand new IP? Oh, we don't.
Right.
No one knows. So it's all subjective. Now we've got some bad news to talk about.
Okay.
So we've got 2 bad-ish stories. The first one I'm going to start off with, and this is a strictly Xbox one.
Okay.
Game Pass is doing so well that they are no longer going to be selling Game Pass for $1.
Okay.
They're now giving it away for completely free. Microsoft... Microsoft is giving free PC Game Pass 3-month trials away to literally anybody who wants them. So they sent out a thing. They said, oh, if you've purchased Forza Horizon or Halo or Age of Empires 4, you automatically get a 3-month free trial of Game Pass on PC. Go nuts.
Yeah.
And then someone said, does that also include the free-to-play portion of Halo as well? And they're like, yes. If you have downloaded the free-to-play portion of Halo Infinite, you can get also 3 months free of Game Pass. So now
they're giving it away for free.
You literally have no barrier to entry to get into things. Yeah. These guys really love to be pumping up their numbers.
It will be very interesting to see what the numbers are, because I suspect they can't even give it away.
That's the thing. This is going to be so bad, because I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to pump up their numbers, so when it comes to the next quarter, they can be like, ah, look, we've got so many people and whatnot. And especially because now they've got a dry spell of like no games coming out until...
For another 700 days.
It's going to be like Starfield's the next thing that comes out,
days.
Right? And they're going to obviously... That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to pump up their numbers.
Yeah.
But it could completely backfire. Because it's not like the $1 was the thing that was keeping people from getting Game Pass, right? Like, people were like, $1, that's too rich for my blood, okay?
Right.
They were like, I just don't fancy the subscription service, you know? And there's nothing really that I'm interested in playing anymore. I've played all the games I want to play. Yeah. See you later, goodbye. And if people still don't flock to it, even though it's free, 100% free, that is going to look so bad.
It'll be interesting to see what the number... I say number because we're not getting numbers.
No.
That tells how many people are on it, roughly. Rounded up to the nearest million. Which is not how you round. I want to know the revenue. And well, I already know it's not enough.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it smacks of desperation in it. It smells like, oh shit, we've got Game Pass. Sony doesn't have that. Oh wait, Sony's doing a better version of it. And in
all subjective, but
yeah, and technically had 50 million users day one. Technically,
please don't say that. I can't, because that's the Microsoft approach of things. I can't say.
We would never say that.
Yeah,
right. We wouldn't say that. But the point is, they have this service.
Yeah,
and there are 50 million people now eligible for it. Right. That is just my... I would not, because I'm not a scumbag. I would not say 50 million users day one or 50 million users using the PlayStation version of Game Pass, right?
But it's the same way that you say, like, oh, we have sold, I don't know, 1 million Xboxes this quarter. And it's like, how many of those are the previous generation as well, though? Hold on
what's
a second.
The distribution for Series X and S?
We won't say. Anyway, I just thought that was absolutely hilarious that, like... This service is like 5 years old now.
Yeah.
And they're still doing the introductory offer of like $1.
Yeah.
And that was not good enough that they were like, no, we're actually just going to give it away now for free. Anyone who wants it, just have it. Just play any of the games that you want without paying for any money. How is this a healthy model in any way?
It's not. And that's where my silver lining comes in. Is that I think, hopefully, this flops, because it should do. And then somebody finally looks at these numbers and goes, we can't keep doing this. Get rid of Game Pass, right? And then...
Or at least make it more expensive or something like that, so it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Make it appropriate. You have to pay the full price, and the full price is like $20 a month, whatever it is, because it needs to support all of these studios that we've purchased, all of these games that we're putting on here. Make it a fair price.
But if it collapses, then... people have to just buy games, and then it's natural selection. The games that are good and work and ready, they get bought, and you know,
Oh boy, that's the thing. Unfortunately, it gets worse.
Oh no! How?
So when I first picked this up, it was only Xbox that was doing this, but over the last 24 hours, it's also been confirmed that PlayStation is doing this. So...
Why? We know this is a bad model!
It's so stupid. So Microsoft and Sony are both in discussions, not with each other, but with other agencies of free-to-play games, to introduce advertising into video games.
I'm out.
Right?
I'm out.
What the fuck?
I'm going to pay $70 for a game.
So this is the thing. That's what the next step is, right? For now, the way that they're pitching this is that they want to figure out a way that they can introduce adverts, live adverts, into video games, but only into free-to-play games.
Did they do that with FIFA? I remember there was talk about making those banners.
They've done that in NBA 2K. Yeah. To be honest, they did that in a roundabout way. They did it in Death Stranding with the monster cans and whatnot. Yeah. It's a form of advertising. It's not exactly the same as what they're talking about here.
Yeah, but I don't hate that so much, yeah.
What they're trying to say is that they're trying to add, find a way that they can add ads that can be changed on the fly into free-to-play games, so that free-to-play games can find a way of monetization without necessarily people purchasing stuff from the store.
Right.
There are some altruistic sort of tendencies there, some feelings in it. However,
our channel has ads.
Exactly.
I get that.
However, it's a slippery slope.
Yes, I fully agree.
When that suddenly becomes normalized, then it's like, okay, then we can put that in other games, right? In our premium games. Oh, you guys never cared about it then because it wasn't egregious, right? Then we could do it over here, and it's like, and then they get to double dip in everything.
Right.
Why is this a thing? Why is the money we're giving you not enough? I understand Microsoft's side; they're not making money from Game Pass. Right? I get it. They're trying to look for more avenues. I get it. But PlayStation, you guys are selling premium $70 games. You guys should not be interfering with this. And I love, it goes back to what you said, how like Sony are sometimes very easily led by Microsoft.
Yes, they are.
Microsoft starts on like, hey, we want a slice of that cake.
All I'm saying is, you get the Amy Hennig's Star Wars game. You get it on Game Pass day one for free. And then the lightsaber sound is like the Apple's window sound. No, or the Windows
Apple's
sound.
window.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Windows.
I was looking at this. I meant to say Microsoft, but it's the Windows sound, and like instead of an X-wing, it's an Audi wing. You know?
Yeah.
Everything is just ads. The thing is, and this is the thing, because we've said, paying for games is good, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure some freaking idiot's going to say, well, why don't you think this is good? Well, the difference is that this is intrusive.
Yeah.
This intrudes on my game. I'm trying to get. The point of games is experiencing a story, and for a lot of people, it's, suspension of disbelief, right? It's to get away from the real world and relax in this other world. And if it's entirely corporatized, not because, like, if it was The Boys game, it would make sense that you were seeing corporate ads everywhere because it's the world that it's in there, right? And ideally, they'd be fake corporate ads. If I'm playing The Last of Us, it doesn't make sense for Joel to pick up a shotgun, and it says brought to you by, the World Cup or something, by FIFA. It doesn't make sense. So, you're stupid. Like, stop being stupid.
You open up The Last of Us 2, Abby picks up a golf club, and just before she kills Joel, it's like, sponsored by the PGA, because it works in right there. And then smack! Hole in one.
That's great. That's great.
I just think this is just a slippery slope.
Yeah.
If we're okay with it and we just accept it, because it's free-to-play games. We're not in those ones anyway. We don't care about those ones. Then I think it just becomes one of those things that becomes normalized, and then in like 10 years' time, it's just in games.
If you're in a free-to-play game, if you're paying for that, if you get the season pass and you buy skins, are you still subjected to these ads? Because YouTube doesn't do that. If you get YouTube Red, or on Twitch, if you subscribe to the channel, you don't have to sit through the ads. So they're going to do that, and then in that case, what goes in that place?
Also, there's another point to this as well, is that free-to-play games, maybe I'm being too harsh on this point, but free-to-play games are largely dictated by you. And I'm talking to you guys who make the games. You guys decide if you want to make it free-to-play.
Yeah.
Same way that Microsoft, they realized a long time ago that they don't have the pull of like PlayStation does or any other company does.
Or Microsoft had,
where they can sell you a game. Because previously you'd sell a Halo and then it would come with the multiplayer, and then people would play multiplayer and it would set the world on fire. They don't have that pull anymore, so they made the multiplayer portion free to play. Their excuse was, we want to reach more people. That's cool. But then you don't get to then go, well, the game's free, so we get to arse rape you on the side with microtransactions. That's not the trade-off that you give. It's not like an accepted thing. And that's, again, what's happening here. It's like, it's free to play. Well, then we can shove ads in your face, right?
Right.
Like, that's not okay. We don't allow that. We don't want that to happen.
I just want to touch on one thing, because you said that Microsoft can't sell people games anymore.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, I just googled Halo 3's numbers back when Microsoft could sell you games.
Ooh.
First day did $170 million.
Whoa!
Did $300 million in its first week, and to date, so in fairness, that's 14 years. 14.5 million copies have sold.
That's
so over 1 million copies a year, averaged. That's when they could sell you stuff. What were the Halo Infinite numbers again?
They only told us how many people have played the game, including the free-to-play portion of multiplayer people, and they said 20 million people have logged into it. Currently, though, what are they sitting on right now? Halo.
So the point I wanted to get is you're right, which is for whatever reasons, and we're not going to touch on it, that Microsoft can't shift games these days. They can't sell you stuff at the minute.
2,000 people.
That's on Steam, yeah?
Yeah, sorry.
That's rough. So I don't know why they're doing it this way as well with giving them their Game Pass. They gave away Halo Infinite and no one's playing it. So you're doing... what they're trying to do is optimize a problem that shouldn't exist. And the reason the problem shouldn't exist is you need to make higher quality games and you have the recipes. Like PlayStation put it out for you to eat, right? You've got The Last of Us, you've got Ghost of Tsushima, you've got Horizon. Dissect it. If an idiot like me can pick apart what makes these games good, surely the engineers at Microsoft can do it.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, that's the situation we're in. I hope that this is just... I hope this is one of those situations where they talk about putting advertising in video games and then it just never actually happens because they can't figure out a way to do it that gamers won't revolt against it, because I'm upset by it.
Seen that?
By it. Yeah, that's something that just popped up as well. So Tailgate put in our Discord server just now. He put that apparently Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will executive produce an It Takes Two movie, which according to Variety will air on Amazon Prime.
The thing is,
what?
we still need to play this game.
Yeah.
And I think it would be fun. It'd be a good either stream game or like some game content. But like, first of all, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has got his fingers in movie pies.
Yeah.
I think it's him that makes the Jumanji game movies. So my questions are: one, do we really need to make this a movie? Because it's just two small people getting around places. We had that with The Borrowers and stuff like that, and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And two, is he going to change their outfits to be that one jungle outfit that he always wears? And is he going to be in it? He'll be the dad in the house.
Yeah.
That these guys trying to get around. Calling it now.
I was just wondering, like, if he's not, because he's an actor. That's what he is, right?
Yeah.
So why is he executive producing? Is there some sort of expertise that he lends to it other than acting?
I mean, I will say in fairness, like we mentioned the Ghost of Tsushima movie, that those guys originally were stunt guys.
Yeah.
So it's not they can't do it.
Yeah.
But it's just that we've seen what he makes.
Yeah.
And they're good fun. They're just not good.
Jack wrote in his Dwayne "The Cock" Johnson can do with not being involved in anything. Everything, sorry.
I actually would tend to agree, yeah. He doesn't have to be in everything.
Come on, just give it a break, mate. Just give it a break.
And the worst thing is what he's good in, he's really good in. Like, I really enjoyed... what's the freaking show with their lifeguards?
Baywatch?
That's the one.
There we go.
I really enjoyed Baywatch. That was good. He was good in that. He's
Yeah.
pretty good in the Jumanji movies. He's pretty good. Doesn't have to be in everything.
That has been everything, Dwayne. I mean, he was... Ever since you did Scorpion King, it's just been sort of down off.
That was very much the peak of his career. Also, I'll be interested to see how he plays Black Adam. But other than that...
Yeah. He's really hyping up Black Adam. Like, it's a big thing. And I was like, all right, I'm interested. But don't talk my my Man of Steel, okay? Like, my guy just comes along and is like, Superman needs to step to the side. There's a new power hierarchy.
He didn't say that.
Well, he said there's a new power hierarchy. It's like, and talking specifically about Superman. I'm like, psh, psh, psh.
Hey.
Psh.
Hey. Like,
get my wife's name out your mouth. Slap. I need to go to rehab to think about what I've done. Have you heard about it, by the way? Apparently he's gone to luxury rehab. When he went to, he said, I've gone to rehab. I was like, for what? Was he claiming he was drunk or something? And he's like, no, it's just so he can recover from the emotion. Yeah, recover from the emotional stress of the fallout. It's like, bitch, you did it. Be a man and just deal with it.
Yeah, you messed up. And also, that's the thing that I think it's easily forgivable, like in terms of his social credit.
Yeah.
It sucks. And, you know, I gave this like theory that maybe it was planned. I don't think it was staged at all now. And also, I didn't really think that. I was saying that that's an angle that could have been worked. Yeah. But make things right with Chris Rock, or at least make them not wrong, you know? Like, at least make it known that you really are sorry and you're completely at fault. And then deal with the fact that you married possibly one of the worst human beings out there. And either you weren't man enough to call it early and divorce her, or you tried to make it work, which is kind of admirable, but now she's going to take you to the cleaners and you got to, you know, also you ruined your career.
Yeah.
I think it's been really bad, but this was handled really badly.
I have to say, the one thing that I feel like the world has sort of like taken from this is that while this is all terrible, Jada has perfectly cemented in everyone's minds how toxic of a person she is and how terrible of a woman she is as well, how terrible of a wife she is, that no one likes her. I can't find anyone who's like, yeah, Jada, yeah. It's like,
no, and she's also gonna, this is gonna be a very toxic divorce. She's gonna make sure she gets everything she can.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll find out. We'll see. At least no more Will Smith in DC movies. At least,
I mean,
I actually really like Will Smith, and I like a lot of his stuff, but Deadshot, man, come on.
And our final topic, Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced. Moving on to our gaming questions from our guys over at Discord. Diogo writes in, and he asks the question, best video game opening. What's your best favorite video game opening?
Probably it's gonna have to be, oh man, either The Last of Us 1 or Ghost of Tsushima. And I can't give it to God of War because God of War 4, God of War 2018 was very slow at the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's incredible, and it's even better now. Now I know what's happened, and I'm connected to it. I love that opening, but it didn't grip me that way. Also, Spider-Man, you just fall down. Nothing happens.
You son of a bitch! I wanted to. I was
so close to doing it, and I was like, no, ruin it. I hated myself for doing it. I wanted to get that swing, but I knew you would hate it. It was worth it ruining it for me to ruin it for you. Anyway, I think either Ghost of Tsushima, where you're like on the horseback going through that stuff, the fields and stuff, and Tsushima opens up in front of you, or The Last of Us 1 because of what happens. That stuck with me.
They're two very different reasons for wanting it, and so mine were those three that you mentioned. There was the mine were those three that you mentioned there. Ghost of Tsushima.
Did you know the glasses make things bigger?
they add fingers to your hands as well. Ghost of Tsushima, because it was just such a... I had goosebumps when that opened up, and I remember just being like, yes, this is it.
Absolutely.
Last of Us, because of how I felt like someone stabbed me in the gut and twisted the knife.
For sure.
And I'd never felt that in a game before. Yeah. And Spider-Man, because it was just that epic superhero opening. You're like, yo, yes, fuck yes, I'm gonna save this fucking... Yes, New York is in fucking safe right now. Watch me, bruv. I sound like a roadman in New York. I sound like right there. So those were the best openings in my opinion. Diogo goes on, he says, some that spring to mind are Sonic the Hedgehog, who doesn't love Green Hill Zone, perfect level to teach you about Sonic's gameplay mechanics and Sega Genesis blast processing. Amazing stuff right there. Spider-Man 2018. Perfect intro that teaches you everything you need to know about Spider-Man and his struggles. Sonic 2 Adventure 2. Motherfucker's a Sonic bitch right here, man.
There's another one.
Yes, another one of that as well. City Escapes mission with the quality music. God of War 2018, Kratos cutting down the tree. Was a pretty cool intro.
It was cool.
It's just that first little bit actually that's really cool.
Yeah, keep going.
There's a cutting down the tree because he hates nature and loves causing destruction.
Deforestation. Freaking planet hater.
Don't know why it's a destruction. Freaking planet hater. Yeah, he's a bastard, isn't he? Should be minus 1 point for God of War 20.
That's right.
Sonic Unleashed.
Also, I want to say, when I was beefing out God of War,
yeah.
It's just because, in comparison, it's not particularly stunning like Ghost of Tsushima. It's not particularly action-packed like Spider-Man, and it's not particularly impactful like The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's a great intro.
Yeah.
Like by the way, if you didn't know him and you see him carrying that size of a tree, you know him now.
Like,
right?
whoa, okay,
that's all you need to know.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I see what's going on. And also, I don't know if you... What's the intro to you specifically? Where does the intro end to you?
For me, it's where they have to leave.
That's for me as well. After the boulder fight. And that's where you really get a sense of scale of who the fuck you're playing with. You're like, okay, all right.
And it's a great way to start a game.
Yeah.
It is a great way. Just for some reason, those other three speak to me a little bit more.
Yeah. And he also writes, Sonic Unleashed. Oh, God. The opening cinematic is pure cinema and teaches you everything you need to know about Sonic. Basically,
8-bit cinema, yeah. I'm joking.
Basically, why does Sonic games have to be better openings than most games? That's what he's...
Yeah, that's an opinion.
An opinion, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, right there.
Tailgate says, God of War 2018, what a game. It's my favourite game in general. And it's one of those, he's talking about the intros here. Games who are just really chill to play. Blah, 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 2018 base game. Jedi Fallen Order and Guardians of the Galaxy as well.
Let's talk a little bit about, because I did ask people as well to write in with like some God of War opinions, because it is the God of War 4th birthday.
Sure, yeah.
And unfortunately, I was supposed to stream yesterday. Life things got in the way, which kind of fucked up, but I'm going to do it this weekend. And just thinking again about... I saw tons of clips online because I'm got my fingers in all of the God of War like threads and stuff like that. And that game really does hit on a different level to a lot of other games. In my opinion, every other game. I'm scared still for God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It's
because
such a mountain to climb.
You climb Everest, and then someone goes, "Yo, we're making Everest 2."
Oh yeah. You mean that impossible thing that nearly killed us?
Yeah.
Cool.
Exactly.
Cool. Let's go do that. Who writes in? So you guys, someone wrote in with something, and I forgot what was going on here.
Alpha Quilale's got his list of best openings in no particular order.
Yes.
Control's opening was very cool.
Was that best opening or is it top games?
It says best opening. In
my bad. Okay, I'm looking at a completely different comment. Sorry about that. There you go. You say what you go. Go ahead, man.
Control, which I did forget. It's good. It's very good, and it's very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Having had no experience in any of these games and then playing them for the first time, I'll say I was more confused than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with the other three that I listed, I sort of knew what was going on. I could feel it. Alan Wake, shit game. No one cares.
No one cares.
Batman Arkham Knight. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
It's a Batman game.
Firewatch.
He's not even got any superpowers.
Exactly. Superpowers money, bruv. And he wears a gimp suit the whole game. You know? Idiot. Loser. Firewatch. I don't remember Firewatch.
I only played the intro of Firewatch, actually. It was quite good. Quite good. I agree.
And then it's weird. He says Forza Horizon 5. Do you think it means Horizon Zero Dawn?
Because it's a brum brum game. Brum brum games aren't games.
Exactly. But then he's got Horizon in there, which does have a good intro.
Maybe he does mean Horizon Zero Dawn.
Right?
Or Forbidden West, maybe.
Because and that's got engines in it.
Let's just say he means Horizon Forbidden West. I agree. It's
a good fair enough. It is a good intro.
I agree with you, Alpha. Thank you very much for writing in with that amazing, great point right there. Jeff Shrooms writes in and he says Batman Arkham tops with Control, Bloodborne, Bioshock, and Disco Elysium being others. All these games mastered creating a unique atmosphere right from the bat, and that's what a game needs to stand out. It makes it memorable. Agreed. Right there. Thank you very much for writing in.
B. Steven, our boy the Jackal, says, best video game openings. Best can also be tragic, and for that I'll have to... Yeah, man's got fine taste. The Last of Us, and also God of War. Honourable mention to how cinematic Red Dead Tuberculosis 2 opening felt and looked. Also Kingdom Hearts.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to say something in defense of my favorite game in the world, God of War.
Yeah.
I am actually going to go back and I'm going to say that is really one of the best ones out there, because not that we said it was bad, we said it was good, but just not one of the best was good. But it has a lot of really good elements in terms of that intro.
It has some incredible elements.
It shows how cold and Kratos is to his son.
Yeah.
And then it shows how there is a moment of him like he wants to like reach out to him, but there's a weird relationship there. It shows how strong he is and how there's this big immense journey ahead of you. And it has the goosebumps moment of them like cremating their mother, and the music is so perfect at that moment and whatnot. There's a lot of really good elements, whereas, not trying to throw shade at anyone, Ghost of Tsushima, right, it shows him like he wakes up after like losing losing the battle, and then there's that fantastic timed music that happens. Spider-Man, okay, like superpowers and stuff like that, and shows like the struggle, like, that's really good. But I feel like there's way more elements in the God of War one.
I will tell you that I interpreted the question. It isn't in there. I interpreted it as most cinematic.
Right.
And for those...
I think I did as well.
Yeah, and so in that case, obviously Ghost of Tsushima and Spider-Man are by far the most cinematic. And then The Last of Us, it's still cinematic, just in a very strange way.
Yeah.
It's in a way that makes you experience a bunch of loss. And so in that sense, God of War 2018 is not cinematic, but it is an incredible opener. And I feel like now that we've clarified the question as not just cinematic, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I was listening to yesterday, like an idiot, the soundtrack of God of War, and it got to the if anyone knows, it's called Mother of Memories of Mother, which is the one that you hear when they're cremating Atreus' mum, and it gave me goosebumps just thinking about like that scene.
How's it go?
It's like
yeah.
I was I really love that intro. I really love that intro. So
another good. Oh, no, that's not cinematic. That's a CG intro thing. I was going to say The Witcher 3 has a good one with like Yen running away.
Yeah,
but that's not really an intro in that same way, is it?
I get you. I'm on your side with that one. I like it, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing right there. Anyone else writing with anything?
I think we got everybody.
I think we have captured everyone. We let's kick it over to our boys over on patreon.com/Conbrosations, where you guys can be a patron and write in and have your questions read
for as little as $1 a month.
Exactly.
It's basically free.
Cats Bucoral writes in and he says, "Hello gamers, just wanted to see your guys' thoughts about Battlefield 2042 after all these months." So I haven't actually played it all these months. There has been an update apparently that within the last couple of days.
Okay.
That a lot of people are saying is fantastic. Should have been out when the game came out though. So
yeah, they used to make games that worked.
Day one, right? Anyway, he goes, "I still hop onto it every few weeks because, well, there isn't any other option when it comes to big modern shooters. Battlefield 1 is great to this day, but it's World War 1, and sometimes I just want to run around in modern days, you know? I would play Battlefield 4, but it's 900p on PS4, and I'm pretty sure it's the same on PS5, as there wasn't any updates for it that I'm aware of, and playing at 900p is just ridiculous, especially now in 2020, 2022. It's upscaled."
For anybody wondering, that's like not less than 1080p resolution is what we're talking about. Yeah,
low resolution, but it still looks quite bad. We've had some updates here, and they're Battlefield 2042, but they haven't really added anything. Oh, they haven't really added anything, but the time that will change. What? By the time they change how the maps look, etc., it's going to be summertime and overall way too late. Yeah. But do you guys still jump on every week, or at least planning to?
I haven't played it since week 1.
I have no plans to go back to it.
Me neither.
The problem is that it burnt us, right? It burnt us.
Absolutely.
It burnt us even more because we've had this struggle for a while where we don't have much to play together.
Yeah.
And I really was like, Battlefield's coming
We
out,
had
guys.
some great times on Battlefield.
Battlefield's coming out. Should we maybe do this? And we got it together. We're both going to play it together.
Also, I don't feel burnt out on Battlefield the way I did about COD. If you were like, oh, we're going to get the new COD, I don't really care.
Exactly.
Let's just play Apex instead, you know. But this...
And then that first week was we made
had some of our old maps as well.
We made an effort to be together to play. And then it was just riddled with crap. So much wrong with it. Imbalances with like vehicles versus infantry. Hitboxes sometimes just not being in the right area.
There. You shoot a gun, but it doesn't shoot bullets. I had that a few times.
So dumb.
The attachments don't work. Like you go to aim, and you're just looking through a circle.
Yeah.
So if the bullets are coming out, you don't know where they're going.
It was really, really annoying. And honestly,
I haven't played it.
The only thing that would bring me back, and I would be happy to go back, is if literally it was the talk of the town, and everyone was to say it's
everybody
perfect.
Was flooding back to it. If they were like, man, they really fixed everything. Yeah, it had a rocky start, but now
it's perfect.
Yeah,
now. This is the game. Everyone come back. It's good now. This is the shooter of the decade. And I'm like, cool.
If you like playing shooters, you need to be trying this. Yeah,
I think that's the only way that I'd come back. Otherwise, no point.
I'm with you.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. BTW, if
you're still enjoying it, though.
Yeah. If you're jumping in every now and again to see... Was that thing? He didn't actually say whether he was enjoying it. He said he jumps in every now and again. I want to know whether or not you actually are still liking it. He says, by the way, if you're looking for some good modern shooters on console, give Medal of Honor 2010 or Battlefield... that will give you Medal of Honor 2010 or Battlefield 3 vibes with a slight COD... I'd recommend Insurgency Sandstorm. Have you heard that game?
Never.
Neither have I.
When I do play shooters, because like I said, we've moved more to story stuff.
Yeah.
Just because one reason is because it's been hard to play together because we have real life and stuff get in the way. But if I do play a shooter, I tend to jump on Apex, and I do that every now and then. And I enjoy it.
I haven't played a shooter in a while.
Yeah. Apex is good fun. I've had good fun on it, I should say, but. I still need to get Elden Ring off you because you're not playing it.
I'm not playing. We said we was going to give it to you last week and we didn't. I'm giving it to you this week.
I'm going to try it today.
Apparently it came out in 2018. It's got a 93% approval rating. So that sounds
good.
Really good.
I will say for anybody wondering about me playing Elden Ring, I'm not going to really play it. Like I'm not going to spend 15 hours doing character creation, making the ugliest thing I can make. You know, I'm just going to hit the default and get in. Yeah. And that's not really playing the game. I know. I'm sorry. Also, if it's any good, I'll give it back to you and I'll download Bloodborne instead.
Oh, there you go.
So that you can still play Elden Ring, you know.
There we go. He says also at the end, this is just a little thing because I thought it was nice. He says, love your lots, XOXO. Aww. Which makes a difference because usually when these guys write in, they start off with an insult. So fuck you guys, but thank you so much, Cats, for being
That's why you're one of our faves.
Exactly.
One of.
The
only way to get to the top, bidding war. On patreon.com/conversations. That's a lie.
That's a lie. That's right. Yeah, so that's I believe that is everything. I'm just going to do a quick double check through my stories. Oh, one big thing forgot to mention. Apparently there's rumors that Halo Infinite is going to actually get a battle royale. Apparently they've caved. They've realized that they have nothing and that people want actually a game to play, and Dr. Disrespect was right. So there we go.
The worst thing is Dr. Disrespect was not right.
He was not.
Because you do, in the sense that you don't need just a battle royale to make things popular.
Yes.
What you need to do is not tank a game. However, Xbox needs a win. I'd like to see Halo come back.
Yeah.
I don't trust 343 to do it.
Yeah.
I guess we'll wait and see. I guess we'll wait and see. Okay.
The funny thing is that I do think that it will. I do think that it will bring players in because battle royale is hot.
Yes, and even I would be tempted, but but the thing is, are they going to do what they did with Halo Infinite, which is unless you buy microtransactions, you can't level up. No Game Pass unless you pay for stuff. Like, are they going to make it a real free to play, a real battle royale? And then I do believe that Dr. Disrespect was correct in this sense that if you make a true to Halo battle royale, it will print money.
Yeah.
If it was OG Bungie came back and like, we're going to make Halo 3 into a battle royale, think Fortnite, that thing would print money.
would.
You could stop that thing making money.
Yeah.
You would probably have to make your own bank, because the fees for transactions would be costing you so much because you're making so much money that you'd set up your own bank so you could deal with the money for free. Yeah. That's how much money it would print you. I don't, however, trust 343.
I honestly do think it's going to be the laziest form of Battle Royale. It's going to be... They're going to adapt it because it seems like a move of desperation. Because they didn't... I think at the beginning they said they had no plans for Battle Royale. But then,
that's correct.
But then with the player count being so low and it seemed to have been a complete flop, they're like, well, shit, we need to do something. Otherwise, we just let it die.
Literally twos of people are playing this right now.
So they're literally just spinning it into a Battle Royale. It's going to be the laziest form. And unfortunately, I'm calling it now. When it starts off, it's not going to be a good Battle Royale. It's going to be bare bones with barely anything in it. It's going to literally be what we know Battle Royale to be, 100 people, and then the winner is that. And people are going to be like, there's no variety to this. We've got better modes in Warzone. We've got better modes in Fortnite, in Apex. Why would we play this? And then people are going to disappear away.
I think the killer's going to be that they all they do is take the map they have and shove it all into one thing and go, there's the map. And the thing is, Battle Royale, the map size and what's on it is actually really important.
Yeah, very diverse as well, isn't it? Like higher grounds, low grounds, different colors.
It's got to be the right size. You have to have enough transport to get you to and from places. Also, what's the thing going to be? It's got to make some form of sense.
I was going to say, what are they going to do about like structures and whatnot? Because as far as I know, from all the Halo that I've played in the Halo Infinite, they've only got the one Forerunner structure, and that's it.
Yeah.
How many times are you going to do that all over the map?
Right. And also, how many times can you just say, okay, here's a Covenant ship A, and here's a Covenant ship B, and here's a human ship A? Like... Well, we need some form of structures, won't we?
Yeah.
So, it'll be interesting, I guess. As much as everybody says we're Sony ponies, I don't want to see Halo die. I love the OG Halo games. It's a pity they never made any more than Halo 3. I mean, they did come out with Reach, and that was okay, and ODST, I guess. But, you know, it would have been cool to see Master Chief again. Shame they never did it. Now, if they do this free-to-play Battle Royale properly, we'll see. That could be okay, but...
Yeah.
Like you say, I think it's going to be the cheapest, laziest way to do it possible, because we haven't had any numbers from it, but we did get that one. It was a leak, but I could believe that they spent that kind of money on this game. So
most of it just went into promotion, I think. It just went into like, it was like, so $500 million, 400 million of that is just promoting it on Mountain Dew cans.
Yeah, it could well have been that. Or maybe the reason that they haven't just shredded everything in 343 is because they included it in the Game Pass thing. Were there Game Pass things with Halo ads? Because if they were, then that just means a free license to just spend money.
Yeah.
I'm sick of bagging on Xbox, but they keep just making either L's or trying to rob you. There doesn't seem to be anything in between.
As if people are ever sick of us talking about it, trust me, we're sick of talking about it even more than you are.
I'm just hoping Fable and Starfield actually give us something to talk about, because I'd like to talk about it. Plus, we can play it here. It's not like we're going to be out of the conversation.
Yeah,
I would love to be like, man, I've been playing Starfield for like, you know, this it's amazing, blah blah blah.
There's potential for it to be great. It's just
it's never going to happen.
We need to see the potential.
Yeah, it's not going to
see it actualized.
I don't trust anybody involved in any of these projects, so I can't wait to be wrong. But
it's super cagey as well, the way they talk about it. It's like, all right, let's get around the table and talk about Starfield. Not in specifics. We'll mention anything specific.
We can only talk about, in general terms, what we've already shown you.
People were like, when Cory Bolo came to Twitter to talk about God of War and like, oh, God of Ragnarok, we're not going to show anything today, blah, blah, blah. People were already saying, well, it's clearly going to be delayed to 2023. It's like, bruv, you're not saying anything about Starfield over here.
Yeah.
It's like, I get what your thoughts are.
We've seen more from Ragnarok.
I get what you're trying to say about Ragnarok. So no problem. That is a point. Maybe you should be concerned. Keep that in the back of your mind.
Maybe
we should.
Maybe we should be concerned. Yeah, fair enough.
But the complete lack of concern over here is just something funny to me.
Best game of the decade. Exactly. Starfield. You know, we already know it.
It's my most anticipated game of the year already.
That's right.
All right, guys, that's all we've got time for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the True Gamer Podcast. Again, sorry about my messed up schedule and stuff like that. Should be moving into the house and things should get normalized then.
Oh, look at me. I'm moving home and that's a nightmare. And I've got a family to deal with and my baby and gaming. Look at me. My name's Eddie.
What was that like?
I mean, I don't think the audio versions are going to be able to. Like, why did Ed just say all that stuff about himself?
They're not going to be able to tell that was actually Shep's. Big reveal.
Anyway, we get it, bruv.
Yeah.
Except, also, look, you had no internet for 2 days. You can't handle that. Like, that's not your fault.
Yeah. Shit, I need to make sure they don't cut it out this week.
Oh, shit.
Because I told them I'd be moving this week. I need to tell them again.
Yeah. Whoops.
Anyway, guys, we'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you all for being so awesome. See you later, boys.
Later, boys.
I don't have my axe. I feel naked.
You are naked.
Yeah.
What they can't see is...
Oh, dear God.
Why didn't you tell me I've been doing this whole podcast?
Whole podcast? Oh, now my...
With my joystick out.
We've been talking about God of War, and now the bottom of my laptop is sticky.
No.
No. If anyone wants to buy a laptop, barely used.
Barely used.
Barely used.